Before we came on call, I did my car insurance for the year. Yeah, I know. So I cancelled with Admiral because they weren't doing me a good deal, and I've gone with eShore, and I've saved 200 bad boys by doing that, which is pretty good.
That's very good.
Which made me wonder: do you think the Sam Witwicky had to get Bumblebee insured?
I was thinking you brought that up. Is there two separate bits of insurance, or did the rate just go up when it's like, oh, that's a Transformer?
He kept that a secret. He lied. He fucking lied to the insurance company that his dad has like connections to.
I was going to say, do you think he also, because one of the money saving expert things that they tell you is like, oh, if you live with your parents, if you're at home, put one of your parents on as a named driver and it'll bring your insurance down.
No.
Do you think he did that as well? But Bumblebee was one of the named drivers.
Yeah, and they're just wondering, who the fuck is Bumblebee?
Yeah, no, and they formatted the name first name Bumble, last name B.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what does Bumblebee do for the? Oh, he works with the government. Oh, what? Oh, I can't really say. So I see. All clandestine. Fair enough.
I mean, I've got a further question, which is: do you take out car insurance or life insurance?
That's a good question as well.
Sam took out car insurance on the actual car, but then he also took life insurance on Mr. Bumblebee.
So he could claim both.
Bumblebee. Do you think it has like third party insurance for when they the other Transformers fight each other? Like, does that factor into it as well? Like, because that would kind of count as car accidents, right? Because they are like cars knocking shit out of one another. So,
I mean,
they're doing a lot of public damage.
Or do they?
No, absolutely. I mean, that is literally how this film begins, weirdly enough. But sweet.
In China, no less.
Yes. Well, funnily enough, and also I guess I'll introduce. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the second episode of Movies We Like. The name is immediately gone out the window because none of us particularly like this film, but we're here. We watched it. I guess. This is the second in a so far 3-part series where we're going through and we're watching Michael Bay's Transformers films, mostly for making Snake watch them for the first time. I guess
I'm not sure what we're gaining by putting me through this, but we're doing it.
The experiment was kind of because Swede is a Transformers fan and I'm a Michael Bay fan. But neither of us are particularly fans of this film, but we kind of had to watch it in order to get to the other ones.
It's a necessary stepping stone. I think I can sum up this film immediately by, you know how in the first episode, a lot of it was me going, yeah, the first Transformers bored me as a kid, I just didn't think, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is okay. This film is what I think kid me saw in the first movie. It's just, it's just noise. It's just, it goes in one ear and out the other, and it's like wow, that's 2 hours down the drain.
Do you guys even remember half of the shit that happened in this movie?
We watched it like a week ago, and even within the same week, I was like, what happened? And James was telling me a plot point, and it came back, and the moment we stopped talking, it all left again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is like my Spider-Man curse, is that I can retain the plots of films relatively well, even if they're films where not a lot happens, and I didn't particularly enjoy them. I can kind of recite them the same way that like I would be telling somebody about something weird that happened in work. And I guess, arguably, this is something weird that happened in work before the Transformers and the military. So, I mean, it kind of follows along with that. But, I mean, I guess I'm going to start this episode the same way I started the last episode, which, well, actually, no. So my fun fact about the fact that this film begins in Shanghai. So when this film was released in China... they removed all references to where it was set.
Oh man!
They were like, no, this wasn't Shanghai, and not at all. We don't know. We completely wash our hands of any Transformers action happening on our soil. So fair enough.
I think there were people in Shanghai watching the film going, "This seems familiar."
Yeah, somebody was just like, "Hey, I can see my house. What the fuck?"
Hey, wait a fucking minute.
Swede, well, I'm going to start this episode like I started the last episode, which is you as our resident Transformers expert.
That's me.
Fan.
Yeah.
Where were you in the world? Where were you kind of age-wise? culture-wise, personality-wise. Back in 2009, when this film came out, were you excited for Revenge of the Fallen?
I was so fucking excited for this because, well, I'll be honest. Well, who was I? I was 16 at the time. But yeah, no, I was excited.
Yeah.
And
So, I mean, I guess coming off the first film, I guess it's like, oh, it's only up from here, I suppose.
yeah, no, it was kind of like that. I remember when I first saw the first one, I was like, yeah, I liked it, but there weren't enough. The Transformers, there weren't enough for them. Like Starscream and Megatron didn't have their good interactions that I wanted.
Mhm.
And well, I was like, oh, this one is gonna have it, and not really. No.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because one of the starting points with this film was before they even kind of as they were wrapping up the first one, they sort of knew a second one was going to happen. And it was mostly just Michael Bay and the producers talking about all the Transformers that didn't appear in the first one. And he basically just began like slapping on a keyboard, coming up with like different situations of like, okay, how could this Transformer appear? How could this Transformer appear? Weirdly enough, because this film was made around the time of the writers' strike, which made Breaking Bad famously good,
Yeah.
the original plan was that they were going to start with like doing animatics, like just doing like the Transformer on Transformer action, and then when the strike was over, then they would get the actors in and they would do all the plotty scenes. But yeah, the idea was they wanted to just, hey, while we got downtime, why don't we just get all the action scenes done?
Yeah.
That didn't end up happening though. Funnily enough, people would just ended up on different projects and then eventually came together for this. Snake, passing the baton to you, I guess. You were already out of the Transformers film franchise at this point.
Yeah,
but
I was kind of out immediately. I guess I can't have gotten out because I guess I was never in.
That's true. So you have like no recollection really of when this film was coming out.
I didn't enjoy the first movie, and I was, pretentious teenager, like, oh, these mainstream movies suck. I don't care. I'm gonna go watch my weird comedies. And I was just kind of out of it. So it was all just background radiation. It was just dumb movie franchise that if you asked Kid Me about, I'd make a point of not liking it, but otherwise would not engage with just whatsoever.
I am absolutely sure that I saw this film in the cinema. I cannot remember a single thing about who I went to go see it with, about where I went to go see it. It would have had to have been a cinema in Swansea. It would have been one of the two only cinemas that we have. But yeah, the film left absolutely zero impression on me, apart from the two things that I remember about this film, which is Sam Witwicky gets fucked by a robot and they go to the pyramids. Which when you said the other day of, oh, James gave me plot points and it reminded
that was
me
it,
about
yeah.
stuff.
It's like, how do you forget that? I mean, he doesning go all the way, which I was a bit disappointed by. He's almost in, but then scene has to be ruined.
Yeah,
no, exactly. He had to get cock-blocked by
He got
Megan
cucked by his
Fox.
girlfriend. It was Matt. That's not what cucking is, but
no,
No, it's not. We need to clear the air on cooking because I feel like people just use.
no, we don't. That's not our
what-
responsibility.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
let's
No,
do
it is.
anyway.
This is what we're going to use the podcast for. We're going to have to bulk for time anyway.
No,
That was
Jason,
the problem with the last episode. We didn't go on long enough.
Yeah, that's
but-
true. We need to make this like the longest podcast. Okay, but since we're talking about it, now I gotta ask. So, which character in this movie do you think is a cuck?
Oh, fucking John Turturro's character.
I can't remember any fucking characters. The dog. One of those two.
Oh no, the dogs are the only one who are getting any action.
Oh
in
yeah,
this
they
film.
just get
See, that's the
cock-blocked
weird
after
thing.
that.
You said that-
It opens with dogs fucking. I'm like, oh, Michael Bay has been unleashed.
I mean,
Well, it doesn't. Well, it kind of opens with dogs fucking. I mean, dogs fucking does eventually happen. The funny, I'm really looking forward. If we keep doing these episodes, I do want us to watch Pain and Gain because that film is basically like,
Dogs fucking.
the
movie.
audience are bored. Just cuts to dogs fucking each other.
oh my god.
That was the
No, I do want to-
That was the running joke when we were watching it together. Was I just kept expecting the camera to cut away at any given moment to dogs fucking. I was like, and it just never happened as much as I hoped it would.
I mean, I forget.
At the end of the film, when they're in Jordan and like the pyramids are exploding, they just cut over and the fucking bulldog is just plowing the chihuahua.
Oh,
or you
God, with
just,
the
or you
fucking
just like
Transformer.
you zoom in on a frame of the Sphinx or whatever, where if they just go through when they go through Egypt, and you just see a little dog just humping the Sphinx, and that's
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, they do it like you know when people who will go on holiday and they go to like Pisa and they do the thing where it makes they use perspective to make it look like they're pushing it. Yeah, they use perspective tricks to make it look like the bulldog is fucking the Sphinx of Gaza.
Meanwhile, you have Optimus Prime flying in the background, tearing faces off.
Well, 10 billion particles are flying all around you.
It's funny actually that we're jumping ahead, but yeah, they fight by the pyramids in this, and I just remembered the whole kerfuffle about the Napoleon film, just him blowing up part of the pyramid, and it's like, damn.
Oh yeah,
This movie wasn't very historically accurate either, really.
Well, I mean, this was current history. I mean, this film was literally making history on screen. It was, it wasn't set in the past or anything like Ridley Scott did. If Ridley Scott wanted to just get around all of that, he should have just made a film about Napoleon, but it was set in the modern age.
Yeah.
Just say, Napoleon was born in 76.
I thought
He
came back.
No, I thought he would be isekai. No, I thought it would be isekai.
It's like that. It's like that movie Look Who's Back, where Hitler returns to life, but it's Napoleon.
There we go.
By the way, if you want to talk about movies we like, Look Who's Back. That's a good movie.
Is it actually a good movie?
I quite enjoyed it. I quite liked Look Who's Back.
Okay, I've never seen it. I mean, is it like
It's based on a German. It's based on a German book,
right?
And it is very much. It is. I think it's quite a fitting story for our time. I think even a few years on, it's not that old, but its message does still hold up, because it's about how everyone thinks that, this actual reincarnation of Hitler is a joke, and he plays to that up until the point that he has them in their grasp, and I think it's quite a clever bit of satire.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch it then at some point.
I was gonna say that is pretty cutting satire.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you expected of Look Who's Back, but they do take the concept of what if Hitler came back to life in a very dark and genuine direction.
Oh, it's better than fucking...
It's better than that Black Mirror episode by a fucking
Well, no, I was going to say better than fucking... You remember that film that came out a couple of years ago, Jojo Rabbit?
I never watched Jojo Rabbit, no.
I never watched it either.
It was cringe. It was like... well, I mean, the conceit of it was funny enough of just it's set during World War II and the little boy's imaginary friend is Hitler. Okay, get it. But then, it just turns into kind of, liberal sap of, even though that they were complicit in the Holocaust, we should treat everybody fairly, reach across the aisle kind of.
That's what it was.
Do you hear that? Nuremberg trials.
That's way worse than I thought. I thought it was just from what I saw, I thought it was just some weird quirky kids goes up during World War II movie.
Quirky coming of age World War II story.
I mean, it had that kind of off vibe. Really weird wise. Who made it?
I mean, when you think about it, Transformers 1 was also kind of like a coming of age war story as well. As in, there was a coming of age story, there was also a war story, and then the two of them were just sort of awkwardly, not even jammed together.
I mean, that's just this movie as well.
Whoa, no. So, I can't remember where I read this, but somebody online made a very apt observation, because I was like, well, what is the thesis of, what's the big idea of this film? This film is about being away from home, because the Transformers are now... Well, they're not stuck... I feel like the Transformers could just leave when...
Oh, yeah, they can. They literally make that
They do seem to have just kind of settled in, hey, we're going to stage it here. They don't seem particularly damn, we can't get back to Robotropolis or wherever the fuck we live.
Oh,
well, Robotron got some... I was about to say it got shot down like it was a factory.
It's dead.
It got blown up.
No.
Cybertron
at this point is basically a dead planet. So they're just staying here because, this place is alive. We have energy. We can help these humans, have a shield place. And also, the main conceit is the Autobots are kind of staying here because there's still Decepticons lurking about.
That's the main thing. And so, the reflection of you have the Transformers who are they're aliens. They're not really part of Earth, and they're working with the humans, but there's still that kind of awkward energy of, well, do they particularly, there's the ones that are specifically evil, the Decepticons, but do they look at the Autobots the same way? And then obviously as the film goes on, the tension rises there, which is mirrored by Sam Witwicky going to college, going across the country, which I didn't realize this as well, because Transformers 1 is kind of set in LA or whatever, and he goes to Princeton University in New Jersey, which completely puts into question of how the fuck did she get a plane over there so quickly?
Oh no!
Secret spy plane.
She got an express plane, or no? She.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did she? They were like, oh, we're doing one more round of Concorde. It's only, we closed it down 8 years ago, but just for today,
they should have whacked the Allspark on a Concorde plane. Like, come on, they're just going to waste.
No, actually,
they could have had a Goblin Concorde. That would be good.
It would be a big one. It would be like more of a troll. If at that size.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess a big goblin is a troll, isn't it? Like if we're talking about our D&D kind of fantasy creature archetypes. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, like the bigger a creature gets, the more kind of like stoic it gets. Whereas like the smaller a creature gets, the more kind of manic they get.
Yeah.
That's got to be based in something in nature.
It's like little dogs are just yappy little buggers. Meanwhile, big dogs pretty calm, relatively.
I think it's more like probably like how in real life animals, like you don't see an elephant get super giddy.
Is it like? Do you think it's energy conservation?
Yeah, exactly. And rats and stuff, they're skittish because they'll get.
That's their defense mechanism as well. Is you're smaller, but you got to be zippier.
Just like the Dick Blender Transformer.
Just like the Dick Blender Transformer.
That Dick Blender I ordered off that shopping line.
Just in time for this episode. Was that going to be our merch spotlight for Revenge of the Fallen?
But no,
it's a really, really unpopular offshoot of Manscaped.
I'm sorry, that's not his actual name. His actual name, according to the special features of Revenge of the Fallen, is Dickbot the Blender Guy.
I'm sorry, I'm just going down this rabbit hole in my own head, and I'm just thinking, hey, do you want a Phillips head foreskin?
Oh no.
Why am I thinking this?
I mean, the worst thing is that when Swede said that, I just put the words to the fucking Bill Nye the Science Guy. I think of just Dickbot the Blender Guy.
Dickbot the Blender Guy.
Blending. Dick. Blending's cool.
Dickbot the Blender Guy. I don't really have any sort of behind the scenes story about this before we get about Dickbot the Blender Guy. I haven't got a ton to say about like how this film kind of came together. I was like what I said earlier of, well, basically the first one did so well that like, yeah, they were going to do a number 2 regardless. And I mean, this film is a bit of a number 2.
And it also came out just 2 years after the first one.
Basically, yeah, like they had done already pretty much most of the, like, all the kind of post-production stuff of building the robots. Yeah, like the work was done, so they didn't have to do a ton to kind of, like, build on it. And, like, Michael Bay, I think the plan was that initially they were going to go with another director, but he basically said, no, at this point, if I got a franchise, like, I'm locked in. Like, I want it.
Yeah, he wanted to do 3 movies, and that's it. Like,
yeah.
And also, this is the first time, this is when Spielberg said, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, Spielberg just walks.
Yeah, so Berg's at this point, funnily enough, he saw Shia LaBeouf in the first one, where the car tries to get him laid, and he went, what if we replaced the car with Indiana Jones? And what if that was the next film? Which is what ended up happening. He made Crystal Skull, like, in between those 2 films. And, Shia LaBeouf was going to be the next Tom Cruise. Which didn't quite happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's funny how opinion moves on that some people now like that movie only because they don't like Dial of Destiny. But no one remembers Dial of Destiny, so it's a cultural touch point. It's a cultural touch point. I think it's just going to disappear as no one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the weird thing that people feel like, oh, well, I don't like the new one, so as a result, I have to like the last one.
That's the weird bit of, it's not cognitive dissonance, but it's a weird trap people kind of do. The old one wasn't as bad, so it's good now, because that's how quality works. effects.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, or you go, oh, this was made at a time where you still had like this director working or this level of special effects, whatever. Which, in fairness, there was a tiny bit of that in the last episode where I was like, I mean, this film's kind of rubbish, but the VFX in it is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this: the VFX in this film still pretty good.
Yeah.
not quite to the level of the last.
I looked at I looked on Netflix. Yeah, but just before, and it was the copy. The copy we had made them look way more.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's just for the folks at home then. We watched a 16mm prints in IMAX.
Oh yeah,
You know, we watched it in the best quality. We didn't watch it on 123 Movies being streamed through Swede's Discord as we kind of watched awkwardly on a tiny window or anything. On the Netflix version as well, was the color correction like normal?
From what I saw, yes.
Okay, because the one that we also watched was like incredibly washed out looking. And even in scenes where it's trying to do the Michael Bay, you know, toxic blue and yellow look, like just wasn't quite hitting the same way that
I didn't watch.
I couldn't put my finger on it, but yeah, like there was a real nice composition to, hey, we have put these CGI robots in reality in a way that looked really cool and really physical. And it just seemed a bit flatter this time around. Like there wasn't as much time to like compose these shots in a way where it's like, you know, there was a nice feeling of depth and impact to stuff. It wasn't like a serious downgrade. It could have just been, oh, you know, second time isn't, you know, it doesn't take you as much because
it's also like shorter production time and also just way more VX effect, like way more Transformers shot. Like,
oh yeah, so like compared to the last film as well, there's like, because what, the first hour of the last film was like, I mean, there's like two big VFX shots, which is the fight scene on the Air Force base, and then what's his face seeing Bumblebee for the first time. Oh, and then I guess him fighting not Gridlock, whatever, Barricade. Yeah, those are the only the big three VFX shots in that. Versus this one, where literally you kind of start out the gate with like VFX.
Oh, speaking of VFX, I actually have one behind the scenes, and it's relating. It probably shows how kind of fucky the timeline was, but basically, so I think you all remember in the opening, there's like this rollerblades guy.
Yes,
and he slices one Transformer in half.
Yes,
that shot was really uncertain. Like basically during most of the production, because Audi. Because the guy turns into an Audi, the guy who gets sliced in half. They're like, we don't know if we want, you know, this being displayed.
Oh, Audi were like, we don't want to see one of our cars get fucked.
Yeah,
nothing ruins cars in media like car companies.
Yeah,
I know.
Exactly. So basically, that shot there is on the extended cuts, like there's like an extended, really cool shot of the three like bike girl robots.
The extended Audi dies cut.
Yeah, no, but like
the Audi kit.
But basically, like he basically has a bigger escape jumping through buildings and stuff. But they basically all of that gets cut, and he has like barely a seconds of screen time before he just gets cut up by rollerblades. Sideswave.
Wow. There we go.
Yeah, those
I
robots
thought you were
were cool. As you talk more, little snippets of this film come to me, but they are hazy and non-chronological.
I mean,
I was gonna say, do you feel like a guy, like an amnesiac detective?
I feel like I'm in fucking Memento trying to record this film.
You just have tattooed. You just find a Polaroid of the fucking racist robot where it says "Don't believe his lies." Like,
no, I mean
of the Tom Kenny W word that I can't say robot.
Oh yeah, that was in this movie too.
Yeah, no,
no, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this
I specifically remember your reaction, Snake. You just went, "Oh God!"
Yeah, I've got a pretty like high. You know, I enjoy a bit of poorly aged like film racism. I just go, "This is fucking hilarious." Oh my God! But with that, I was just like, "Oh my."
Yeah, Snake sees
full on.
Snake sees. So Snake, you can see Soul Man and be like, "Yeah, no, this can be funny," and you just.
This is a classic. I mean, it's shot on film.
If you sat me down to watch Soul Man with you two, I think it'd be, you know, you two hands in faces. Maybe I'd be the same, but I'd be like, "Oh man, I got to get Wooly to watch this, even though I don't know him."
Do you think? I feel like
he's definitely seen it.
I feel like he watched it just for research, just to be like, okay, what are these fuckers gonna say this week? I just need to know. He's watched all the racist comedies so he can be like, so he knows like all the defense positions.
So he can be on top of race comedy.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to know the new, much like, you know, he spends a lot of time in the lab figuring out the new techniques. He has to also lab racism. I hope he never listens to this podcast. Oh, God.
Lab racism, isn't that just eugenics?
Whoa. Speaking of eugenics. Sweet, funnily, when you talked about ILM, I thought the story that you were going to tell was they were up against the fucking wall on this, and apparently when they were trying to render out the Devastator scenes, the fucking render farm caught fire.
Oh yeah, no, I had forgotten that, but that was just the thing.
Yeah,
this film is so hazy. Even behind the scenes trivia, you knew you are remembering mid fucking go. Mid pod.
I just can't believe fucking a dick yoke literally made a render farm fucking just explode.
Yeah, no, exactly. The testicles dropped, and like a deep blue sized fucking fridge just tore to pieces, like shrapnel across the office.
George Lucas himself rushed the scene and just said, "Oh no!"
George Lucas turned up dressed like an old-fashioned fireman with like buckets of water, and it's like George the fucking electrical. What are you doing?
I gotta save it.
I'm helping.
You don't understand. Star Wars episode 9 is on this.
Oh yeah, no, those were the machines. Yeah, because when did Free come out? Like 2006,
2004, I believe.
No, 2006. I think 2006.
Oh yeah, it did because I went to the cinema and saw that, and I was in secondary school at that point.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because the Star Wars Episode 3 came out 2006, and the year after the Clone Wars started airing on the Cartoon Network. The 3D one. The 3D one.
Yeah, I was going to say not the Tartakovsky one because that was kind of after the second one.
Yeah, that was
I don't know
after
why I
the
said
second
9,
one.
but
can I put my foot down and say that I don't want to do the prequels on if we ever continue this film podcast?
I was not going to suggest it because I don't want us to touch Star Wars. The internet has too much Star Wars. We are not going to contribute to that.
If we're going to watch Star Wars,
actually, why am I saying that? I'm technically a guest, but I'm saying
that's true.
You're a permanent guest.
You're like a super guest, I guess. Yeah, you're like you're like the house band on like.
So wait, how is that different from a host? Oh, you get paid less.
Wait, we're being paid for this?
Oh my
God, you didn't mention that.
What the fuck? I'm not charged of payment. You're the one in charge of this.
Oh shit! Don't say that. I guess let's start the plot, which begins with racism. Weirdly enough, we were talking about that for a couple of minutes, but
that was foreshadowing for the beginning of the movie.
So it begins in 10,000 BC, where you see tribal, tribesmen, about they're investigating something. How do you know they're tribes people from 10,000 years ago? Oh, because they're dressed like the Xhosa tribes of like Zimbabwe. They have white paint. They basically they just hired people from Central Casting, which is like, hey, you kind of live Zimbabwe and get in here. And it's like, oh, are we doing like a kind of a nice cultural touch point here? No, you're playing like Fred Flintstone Caveman, and it's like, oh, okay.
In a Transformers movie, no less.
Yeah, in a Transformers movie.
Michael Bay was truly just given full control at this point.
So Michael Bay is fully at the wheel for so Spielberg had, like, as we said, Spielberg had no interest in this. Like, he was off doing other stuff, and then Michael Bay was like, well, when I think of cave people, I think of tribal people, so let's make them look like that.
I think the opening scene would have been really funny if it was stereotypical, like, long scraggly hair, long beard, big club, patchwork, like, if it was just a bunch of those cavemen stumbling upon ancient Transformers, that would have been really funny.
You know what would have been even better? What if it was like Australopithecus, whatever they're called? You know, the kind of missing link monkey people. Where,
yeah, and
then they arrive, and then the Transformers just blow them up, and that's the only reason that human beings were able to like procreate as well as they did.
They just wipe out the missing link. That would be. We're going to annoy both sides of a coin all at once in this one.
Yeah, just Sahelanthropus appears and they just blow it to pieces. I only know what Sahelanthropus is because of fucking MGS5. I was like, oh, that's an interesting name. Oh, that's the name for for the primates that were upright, which were like our nearest ancestors. And it's literally a robot that can walk about upright. Good job, Kojima.
Yeah,
good work. Good work, Huey. I think you mean.
No.
Oh yeah, sorry. Good job, Huey.
No, we're not crediting Huey on this podcast.
We don't have to hand it. Are you saying
this
that we don't have to hand it to
This is not a pro
Huey
Huey podcast.
I don't know.
I mean, I like him, but
I'm pro Huey.
I mean,
I'm pro Huey. I'm putting my foot down. We're not doing like prequels, but we are pro Huey.
Man, fine. No, actually,
Swede, you should be on this boat.
Mate, we're all on this. We're all on the Huey boat. I mean, we all agree with what he said and what he did.
I mean, no, but here's the thing.
Deeds.
I like Huey, but I think it's funnier to just deny him things.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but God.
Also,
so you played MGS5, right?
Yes, not all of it, but I did play all of it. I didn't get to put him in a boat. I'm gonna have to replay that game one day. But I have seen this scene, and I'm scared that Huey does act like a fucking tabletop character I have.
No, he is pretty you tabletop character, just kind of coded. Like if any one of us could play Huey in a tabletop campaign, I would elect you to be the one to do it.
Well, there we go.
He's got that single-minded, he has decided what reality is, and he will follow it no matter what in him.
I mean, in fact, also just Huey's just like a classic worm. It's just like he will do, not only will he do anything that benefits him, but like at any point where like the single amount of pressure is on him, he will fold like immediately.
Oh, Snake, stop being mean at me. I did not eat the jam, Snake. It was him.
Snake, I've never even heard of the Allspark. You gotta believe me.
No, I didn't put my wife inside Optimus Prime. and then they just open it up and Same Force falls there.
My God.
And Optimus Prime just looks at the corpse and goes, "How'd that get in there?"
That's not a car, it's a robot in disguise.
You gotta believe me, Snake.
Why does he say you got like he's a fucking he's the guy who was the I can't remember. He was in Operation Dumbo Drop. Why does Huey become a Don Knotts character?
I don't know.
Well, looks like you have a Transformer over here, and not a very good one.
Oh, that's the worst missed opportunity with the Transformers. Like, why couldn't we live in an age where we had really dumb crossover movies, like a Transformers in I don't know, a fucking comedy movie?
Top Cat meets the Transformers.
Yes.
Abbott and Costello meet the Transformers.
Yes.
Transformers versus the Wolfman.
You gotta believe it.
Ooh, there you go.
Or maybe King Kong and the Transformers.
Oh God!
Ooh, yeah.
The new King Kong
Godzilla
trailer looks amazing. The new Godzilla movie looks amazing.
Why have there been so many King Kong movies lately? Not that I'm complaining, but what's going on here?
It's just you're just on your soapbox, and it's like, you know what? There's a lot of King Kong films recently.
Yeah, I got chased out of Leicester Square the other day for this exact run. Where's so much King Kong?
Yeah, I was going to say, Snake is that why is that why Jon Stewart's back on the Daily Show, because they test ran you, and all you wanted to do was talk about ape related stuff.
All I'm saying, he's not gonna be that special if you got 10 King Kong movies in a year. You're gonna get sick of him.
They made this new Planet of the Apes film. I feel like you can just drop the subtitle at this point. We know it's a Planet of the Apes. We saw the last 5. I mean,
have you looked at Congress lately, buddy? We're the Planet of the Apes.
Wait a minute, Congress.
Donkey Congress. So the tribe arrives and there's a bunch of Transformers on it.
Oh yeah, the plot.
which now establishes that no, the Transformers were actually on Earth 16,000 years ago. They didn't arrive with Sam Witwicky 2. Yeah, so the film is actually 2 years in the future as well.
No, okay, I gotta say something. I just realized this. The timeline of this is fucked. Like,
well, that's the writer's strike for you.
Oh yeah, no, but like, okay, so these guys were here when Proto-Humans came, but they like, what the fuck did he mention? They mentioned like the old Spark.
Sweet, I just want to correct. They weren't Proto-Humans. They were like actual humans.
Yeah,
I
no.
believe.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. And like this time,
Just the fact that fucking Michael Bay just hired like Zimbabwean guys and covered them in face paint. Like,
Yeah.
I know what he was going for, but they are human beings,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
yeah, no, but no. So
It's really hard to get Neanderthal actors nowadays. It's
yeah,
just
downright
people with-
impossible.
You just don't see strong brows anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah, you need prosthetic for that shit or CG. But no, like no,
See.
this is my nerd head going. Wait, how the fuck? How many like maybe like 1,000 years of so past? But like for Transformers, 1,000 years is like maybe 10 for us. It's not that much. And
Right.
like and these primes, as they're meant to be called, they're meant to be like ancient ones. Like they talk about them like how we
But
talk
they
about
basically for equivalent scale, they're like to us someone from the 1800s.
I was going to say 160 years old is pretty. It's not ancient, but that's pretty old.
Yeah, no. For us, for the Transformers in this time scale, it would have been more like people barely in the 1900s. Like,
Okay.
like,
Huh.
but
You
meanwhile, in the
you
movie,
wouldn't treat it like prehistory.
yeah, no, like for them, like this is meant to be like these Transformers. Oh, this is like our great ancestors. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care. It's like I just realized that basically between this event happening, like either the Allspark will land on Earth in like another 50 years or so. It's so fucking
Yeah, when was the distance between... No, because the Allspark fell like 50 years ago because that was when the Grandpa found... Oh, no, wait. Oh, no,
No.
it must have been before that.
yeah, no,
Oh, yeah, you're right, because that was what caused... That's what created the fucking Hoover... The water where the Hoover Dam is.
yeah, no,
Oh, fuck.
yeah. I mean,
My head.
we shouldn't put too much stock in this because the fucking timeline of this franchise, this movie specific franchise, is fucked beyond belief. Like,
Yeah, like, Michael Bay didn't give a shit. He said history's for nerds and losers.
yeah.
and
Also,
that's
like
good enough.
we said, this was made during the writer's strike, so
So, funnily enough, they were going to get another person to... So, like I said, they were going to do all the action scenes without writing and then eventually get round to it. But when the writer's strike was over, the two guys who had written the previous one, they were on to go do Star Trek then. So they got a new guy. Apparently, the new guy wasn't doing a very good job. So eventually, when the two other people then freed up, according to Wikipedia, apparently fucking Michael Bay just locked him in a hotel room and said, bang the script out. Gave him a weekend, and yeah, when the weekend was over, they handed him a script, and that's what they shot.
And he didn't look at it because he would have realized, hang on, this is just the script to the first movie again.
No, Michael Bay just ate it and was like, okay, I know what to do.
Before he locked him in, he just slammed the door open again. And you make sure you include my racist robots. Smash.
Yeah, it's like my only mandate is racism.
I want a white guy playing two black robots, or well, they're not even black.
It's two white guys playing two racist robots. I mean, we should talk about the racist robots, I guess, when we get to them. Granted, I can't remember when the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So basically, we hop from 16,000 years ago to 2 years in the future in 2009, where the Autobots are now working with the US government. They formed a task force together, which I can't remember the name of.
Nest.
Was it literally just Nest?
Yeah, it's like NEST, or it stands for something like Nest. It's just Nest.
Right. And yeah, so they're basically they're a joint task force that are going to take out the rest of the Decepticons because those guys are bad eggs. That's literally in their name. And they're able to track them down to Shanghai to a factory, and that's where we get the first big action scene of the film. Where what is the Decepticon? He has a big wheel. Is his name literally just Big Wheel or what?
Nah. His name is Demolisher. but he is called.
Oh right, that's a fitting name considering what he does during that scene, I guess.
I mean, a lot of them just do it. Yeah, that's he really drew the short straw on names, huh? Just Demolisher. What the fuck does everyone else here do?
Speaking of what the fuck everybody else here does, none of the humans in any of these scenes do fuck all, apart from just they're on the phones, whereas the big robots are the ones who are doing any of the big fighting.
I mean, to be fair, James, if you were a soldier, would you want to go in there and fucking get run over by the fucking big like 10-story tall fucking robot with two wheels?
Wouldn't they? I mean, why not give people like grenade train or like RPG training or something? Like, I feel like a big
when you're playing
explosive-
Command and Conquer, if your enemy just makes a lot of tanks, you make a lot of bazooka men. That's
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't a bazooka do something to
in
demolish?
2
I feel
years,
like
the US military has not repurposed to. Okay, we need really big guns.
They do.
So
Maybe they've gotten complacent. Maybe they are just like, you know what? We'll just let the big robots handle it. Well, you're fine, lads. We'll point, you shoot. That's
speaking
what we're
of
here
the
for.
speaking of the military doing stuff, Sweet, did the military make the sexy lady robot motorcycles?
No. We were talking about it, but no, they're just Transformers that came for Optimus Prime's call he made while watching Sam and Michaela fuck on top of the-
Yeah, when he was recording dogging footage.
Yeah, and he was like, Autobots, come here, look at this shit.
Autobots, check this shit out.
And they were like, fuck yeah. So that's like the excuse for all the new Transformers. They just saw this shit and just went, fuck yeah, I'm going to
He put
Earth.
out a galactic booty call, and now they're all on Earth.
Yeah.
Some of them which are small enough to be motorcycles, some of them which are large enough to just be off-the-shelf cars. I mean, the biggest Autobot that they got is Optimus Prime. Like, the Decepticons seem to be like, they seem to have all the big robots, from what I understand.
Yeah, basically, like, yeah. No, I guess it is, for this, it's just literally just to get the sense of scale, your enemy gotta be big.
And I was going to say, the thing that you can say about Michael Bay, he does still have a pretty decent handle on scale.
Oh,
The
yeah.
amount of mayhem that happens
Yeah.
in this scene. Pretty solid.
Yeah, no, it's not as good as the first one, but like it has way less like low camera angles, but it's still, yeah, you still get the sense that these fuckers fuck shit up.
There's nothing quite as on the like as spot on as the beginning scene of the first one, where it's all at night and it's kind of like they're not really sure what's going on, and there's nothing as clear as the battle in Mission City at the end of the first one either.
Yeah.
The nearest you get is the fight in Jordan, which is a bit of a mess, but I guess we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, they go to Shanghai and they fight a big guy, and I think the big guy tells them about the Fallen, I get, because I think that's what starts that plot off, right?
Yeah, he literally just says, the Fallen will rise again. And it's, and it's like, oh, the Fallen, are they talking about the Decepticons? Are they gonna rise up?
Yeah, and at that time is when Soundwave, the funny guy who has the cassette player in his chest, takes over a satellite somehow.
Oh, he just transforms with it. He just gets...
That's just something Transformers can do. They can just merge with other technology, I guess.
When they choose to. Like, you saw it.
Okay.
Don't think too much about it. But yeah. And he sends down his no, wait, that's later.
Yeah, that's like he hasn't
is the
sent anything down.
I'm just kind of sitting in the back until we can talk about college, because that's when I start remembering.
Well, good
things.
news, because that's what we're moving on to now. Okay. So much like the first film, which was a little bit of Transformers action, then a little bit of Sam action, we then move on to Sam action. So what's Sam up to? Well, he's heading off to Princeton University. His wacky family is telling him, "Oh, don't forget to pack your bags and stuff
also,
like that."
Here's a side note: his dad 100% like paid someone to just accept him, right?
Oh wait, what was the joke that we came up with during his dad looks like Humongous.
Yeah, his dad looked like Humongous, and Swede thinks he's connected.
He's 100%.
For people at home, Google HUGH Mungus. It was an old fucking meme online, but yeah, the dad from this film was the spitting image of Humongous, which is. And his wife, and we decided his wife was Julie Mungus.
Yes, Hugh and Julie Mungus, who Julie Mungus just gets put through the ringer for her screen time in this film.
So, yeah, in the first one, she doesn't really get to do much, while
Yeah,
in this
like-
one, she just plays
No one could figure
weird
out
mum.
no one could figure out what to do with Julie Mungus, and in this, like, she just gets battered. Like, I feel they just settled on, oh, this woman's gonna fucking get it this time.
Yeah.
She's like Meg Griffin. It's
Yeah.
weird, like the way that they treat her. Like, especially when they go to the college and like hijinks happen. But that doesn't mean the hijinks don't happen in the beginning of this film. He's on the phone to Megan. Oh yeah, the fucking introduction to Megan Fox in this film is bonk. So the introduction that Sam gets is like a nice big hero shot of him in his room. Andy from Toy Story and putting away all of his, like, here's all the adventures I had last time, but now it's time for me to grow up and move out. Anyways, I'm gonna give my girlfriend a ring. Boom, camera shot, right up fucking Megan Fox's ass as she's spray painting a Harley Davidson.
Any
with a
closer
sexy-
and it would have been a colonoscopy.
Any closer and you could have seen a dinner. But, like, yeah, she was spray painting a sexy devil lady on a motorcycle and using a Jabra Bluetooth headset like she's a fucking London cabbie to talk to Sam Witwicky on the other line.
Well, you know,
Basically,
she's
like-
like, she's technologically minded. That's a character trait. That's,
Yeah.
Also, funnily enough, since she don't go south of the river after midnight, so I guess. But yeah, the chat about, what a wonderful adventure that we had in the first, I was about to say the first, I mean, it is like a game when you think about it. In the first film, we had such a fun time, but now, you know, we're moving on up. But hey, when you go to college, you're going to have to you have to ring me every single day because I'm your girlfriend. He was like, I will.
And also, she don't trust him to not cheat, probably.
I mean, I don't blame her.
No, I
Considering-
don't. I think she trusts him to not cheat, but not out of like, oh, he's a good guy. More out of inability.
Oh, yeah, no,
He doesn't know.
More out of being Samuel Witwicky.
actually,
This guy doesn't have the phenotype that would let him cheat.
That's
He
true,
doesn't-
actually.
he couldn't imagine it.
that's true. She did meet him the first movie and, like, saw what his, like,
She's had 2 years to work this fucking guy out.
God.
That is the
Imagine
most,
what kind of-
you know what, in this world of giant robots and that fucking bit of the Allspark somehow being on his shirt for 2 years, the most unbelievable thing is this relationship lasted.
You know
I
what?
was gonna say the Allspark in his pocket reminds me of like when I put a winter coat on and I have like a 20.
No,
Oh,
you know
yeah,
why
yeah.
she's
that's
with
always
him?
a good feeling, but this
You know
is
why
not-
she's
that
still
is
with
not a
him?
good
You know
feeling.
why she's still with him? She probably just
why?
she actually just probably also want to get close to Bumblebee. They had the
Oh, you
actual.
think
You know
that's
what?
the
That
real
probably
one.
makes more sense. Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like Sam. Like, if you remove Sam and just make the relationship between Michaela and Bumblebee, it would make more sense. Almost. Just almost.
Do you think they're ever gonna make a film which tests that hypothesis?
Nah, Transformers is dead in the water.
I
was
mean,
thinking-
I'm amazed on this line of thinking that Samuel Witwicky is the third wheel in a relationship between a woman and a car.
Yeah, he's the third wheel in a relationship with 4 other wheels. Yeah. I was thinking, I mean, while we're on this funny tangent, what the fuck do you think they did for dates in like the 2 years between this? Do you think he was like, yo, we gotta go see this film, The Dark Knight, it's gonna be fucking incredible?
I think he was a like going down the chicken shop kind of guy.
Oh, you don't think he...
Actually,
don't
no,
think he treated it
definitely
to-
not. He's not that interesting.
No.
Fuck
No,
did he
I
do?
can see I could have seen him being really into the Joker for like 6 weeks during
Yeah.
the 2000s.
I mean, the thing is, while it's not always a bad thing because Sam is more just a vehicle, for just kind of, human perspective, so he's bland. There is sometimes a thing where I genuinely can't even imagine him as a person. He is so fucking empty as like a vessel.
Literally after the first film, Eddie was like, yo, I'm gonna go in the cupboard for the summer, knock me if you need me, and he just powered down
You know what? Actually, no.
in the cloakroom.
You know what the actual dates were? They went probably
What?
to a nice dinner because Sam is like, I don't know, he's raised to be like a 50s greaser because Spielberg. And
Yeah. Fair,
but when he goes to dinner, he's like, when I was standing there with the Allspark and Megatron called me boy, I could feel it, man. That's all.
And Michaela is just so like, you've told this story every fucking day.
They've gone to like the most exclusive restaurant in fucking LA, and he's there in his jeans and Strokes t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And she's dressed up like FHM's hottest woman
Yeah.
of the year.
And
like,
also, it's his dad who pays for it because his dad is like,
Oh, of
fuck.
course.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
because,
mean,
like,
his mum and dad are at the next table.
Oh,
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, and then the mum comes over and they both come over and they're both embarrassed.
No, I think with the mum in this movie, she trips over a tablecloth and smashes her head on the fucking table.
She's like the fucking waiter in the episode of The Simpsons where you think he got beat up by Quimby's nephew. It's actually crap on.
Yeah.
See, now I'm imagining like, Spider-Man comics, but it's like Bumblebee's outside and he's like, oh, Sam's on a date, but there's also a Decepticon around the corner who's stealing government secrets. What should I do? So yeah, I don't know. I'm just imagining. See, why didn't they make a film about that rather than this? Which nothing really happens in this.
Yeah, no. Fuck,
It's the same plot as the first film. I've just made this joke so many times, but it's like, literally, it's like, okay, we open the film, we have a bit of action, then we have an hour of a coming-of-age story, which gets wiped away when the action begins.
Yeah.
And it's really funny that like the person online was like, oh, like the Transformers are aliens on another world, and it much reflects like how Sam is an alien at Princeton. He's at Princeton for all of like a minute before like explosions happen. He has no chance to even like go, damn, I miss home or anything like
there's
that.
There's not even a reverse Die Hard bit where he's like, a West Coast guy now on the East Coast, or he's surrounded by these yuppies and he's a...
Well, this is the thing. I didn't even know he went to Princeton. Like, that's why I had to fucking Google it, because I was like, oh, did he just go to the college down the road? Because that's what this feels
Yeah,
like.
no. And, oh, fuck, yes, remember, he later...
He doesn't even go, man, this East Coast weather sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it's so cold up here.
Oh, I just realized he meets up with Optimus Prime later, so he has to be, like, near the area where Prime lives.
Oh, God, yeah, fuck.
Fuck, we're jumping ahead a lot.
Yeah.
He's in his room, he finds a piece of the Allspark in his pocket, and he goes, oh, I remember this funny thing. He looks at it so hard that the Allspark infects his brain with...
Man.
It downloads terabytes of data into his head, and you're like, oh shit, and causes an electric spark, which causes him to drop the Allspark. And then in a David Fincher style camera move, you follow the piece of the Allspark drop through a crack in his floor, through another hole, into the kitchen, hit the table, and it turns all the appliances in his kitchen into gremlins.
And here he comes.
Here
Dick Bot the Blender guy. Dick Bot the Blender
Dick
guy.
Bot the Blender guy is there. There's like a coffee robot, like a French press robot.
There we go.
Like,
I will admit, I don't know these guys by heart other than fucking Dick Bot the Blender guy, but let's see what they have. They have Ejector, Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Oh yeah, there was a Dyson vacuum cleaner.
They
That's right.
They don't even give it a cool name. It's just Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Oh yeah, no fucking extended media is giving that a name.
They'd have to pay James Dyson. That's the problem. I
Michael
guess they'd have to have paid James Dyson
They
to
could
have
have
it in
called
the
it
film
like
of it.
Dyson.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, this family is rich. They had both a hand mixer and a stand mixer.
Wow.
Can't believe
yeah,
it.
that's right. There is a stand mixer robot. I forgot about that.
A waffle.
That's a question I'm throwing out. If any of you could turn like one of your appliances into a robot,
Ooh, that is a good question.
What appliance would you be like? I want that one to kind of just come to life and serve me.
Does it also? I was going
I'm
to
going to say
does
it's
it
not
become
going to
a
be
gr-
hostile like these ones. It isn't a question of which of your appliances do you think you could beat in a fight.
Oh,
Okay, no.
We
I mean,
could
that
ask
should be
that
the
as well.
follow-up question after that, though. But,
Yeah.
rice.
what's it-
I'll take my rice cooker.
I was going to
rice
say,
cooker's not
say
bad,
my
sure.
multi-cooker as well, but then I was like, yeah, but when it's in robot mode, I might not be able to cook.
Yeah, true.
anyway.
Actually, fuck.
You'd feel, you know what? Yeah, you'd feel a bit rude. Like, hey, can you just sit there for?
Snake, I got my answer. My Henry Hoover, because I would like to think it could still vacuum clean while in robot
I'm
mode.
gonna
so
say,
it'd be like a
James,
lot-
that is really just a very, very souped-up Roomba.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you
But
know
I'm
what?
thinking- I'm thinking-
I think I'm leaning Hoover
Wait.
as well. Honestly,
Wait.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that because it's Henry, it keeps the face when it transforms as well.
I mean-
I
oh
hope.
yeah.
Wait, James. What if he's already in robot mode?
Well, that is what, and then he transforms into something less useful, or what?
he transforms you to another vacuum.
Ah, nice. Yeah, he transforms into one of those stand-up vacuums, one of those Vaxes.
I've
God.
got
Also,
you know
yeah.
what, for me, I've got like one of these like like massage chair things you strap to a proper chair. I'd turn that into a robot.
And
Well, so it'd be like a robot that then gives you a massage.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if this sus.
also, I think,
I don't know about that.
also,
No,
also,
I mean, you're the one who's putting this dodgy angle on it rather than just helps with the back.
I mean, I guess.
Actually, that line really doesn't help
Oh.
with the insinuation.
No, it
does
doesn't really have your case, does it?
No.
Oh man,
thank-
Snake, James, I'm putting it here, but there really is just a Henry Hoover that is a stand-up vacuum cleaner.
Oh, excellent.
That's what he transformed to.
That's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
I'm half
so-
convinced.
Like, you wouldn't know it was
So
Henry unless
terrible.
you zoomed in.
That has none of the personality of a Henry Hoover.
Also, I'm gonna
That's
be-
so shit.
also, I didn't realize that Henry Hoovers were still a thing. Like, obviously, we don't have
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They never
Yeah,
went
we-
away.
I thought they were like.
That is a cheeky face that he's got. I mean, it's funny. When I moved into my flat in Milton Keynes, that had a Henrietta, and the landlady literally just said,
wait.
"Oh, I thought I'd have girls living here. I hope you don't mind."
I did
And
put
it's
it
like,
together at first, but I didn't see the face on the top of it. God, that's got to be a podcast. So I just thought it was like a one-eyed robot with a goatee.
That's good.
I didn't see. I didn't notice the actual printed-on face on the top. I just thought it was like. I thought it was a cyclops with a goatee.
You thought it was like a Daniel Bedingfield kind of look.
Oh, I mean, you could probably see it as well, but like,
Yeah, no, I did.
yeah, like
Yeah.
this was the fucking face that that I saw.
He also has fucking lips.
Yeah, it's Walter White.
I am the one who vacuums.
Okay, so next question. So if one of your appliances got turned into a transformer, which do you think you could beat in a fight?
Yeah, which one? Like, you're gonna have to go one-on-one with one of your appliances. Who do you pick as your opponent? Which is very
Wisp.
unfair.
My wisp, like electric wisp. What do you call it? Wisp?
Yeah, like a whisk. Yeah,
Whisk.
like on your whisk.
I would
Yeah.
I would not turn anything that could like spin that fast.
Oh, but
See, I'm trying to think of the biggest appliance that I got. I reckon I could probably beat a microwave.
I think I could take. I mean, but if you break the glass and he turns on, you're getting fucking irradiated.
yeah, no.
Oh no, I'm thinking it's probably shooting microwaves at me. But what I'm thinking is that because it's going to lose body mass in the transformation anyways.
No, he's gonna be able to shoot radiation at you.
I've got a standing lamp. I could probably take that.
Oh, you're talking about any application? Yeah, no, I could take
Any
a lamp.
appliance, yeah, like appliances.
Yeah, I could take a
generally.
lamp. Actually, I could take my smart TV. It's not that fucking smart. It's
You know, I just remembered that there's a fucking transformer in this film whose entire shtick is that they're like flat Stanley. Like
yeah.
they start off as ball bearings and then they join together and they become an incredibly flat robot.
yeah.
God. What's that character's name, Sweet? Is he called Flatlaw or something?
I have no clue. Let me check what it's
I'm actually wondering because like smart TV got one of those and don't use it myself because it's kind of just I prefer my dumb TV, I guess you'd call it, which just works. But
Fair.
I've been unable to update its firmware since the day I got it because it just won't recognize the Wi-Fi. And I'm thinking if that turned into a transformer, would it try and update its firmware, giving me a window of opportunity to like
yeah.
grab a
Actually,
hammer?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So according to TF Wiki, the flat robot is named Reedman. Reedman.
Reedman.
Reedman.
My word, Gordon Reedman.
Yeah, no, it's in the fucking It's in the credit.
Oh, I thought you said like he's credited in the film as Reedman. Oh yeah, Reedman played Reedman in Transformers: Revenge of the Fall.
No.
What should we call your robot? Just call it Reedman. It will be easier because my name's Reedman. So
Oh, my surname is Reedman. I usually work in insurance, but I'll be in this film for you.
Yeah, I know Michael Bay. I
Oh no, he works with Humongous. They both work at the same insurance. firm.
they're both
He was
mob
a writer.
connected. He's the one who got him in. Actually, he does the mobs books.
Reedman. He works for the Gambino crime family, does he? He was the one who did Carlo in with. Yeah, do you remember that story that like fucking who? I can't remember if it was Carlo Gambino or whatever, but it was basically like some QAnon like 17-year-old got like radicalized in Long Island, went to a Gambino guy's house and just shot him.
Oh, God.
It's like what? And it was literally just, he was like, yeah, I was reading about this guy online and I wanted to go finish the job. And it's like okay. Interesting. So, yeah, all the goblin bars come to life in Sam Witwicky's house, and he's like, oh, jeez, and he's trying to, and Michaela's on the other line, like, hey, you better not be doing hijinks over there. And he's like, oh, I'm not.
Oh no, I'm doing too many hijinks. Help, man. Diana.
His parents then get bothered by the robots. It then cuts to a bulldog fucking a chihuahua, just because not enough excitement's happening at this point.
I was just thinking when we were talking about like their relationship earlier, I'm just thinking, man, I'm actually kind of glad there isn't any. For many reasons, I'm glad there's not like, you know, a Sam Witwicky Michaela sex scene, because because I know it would cut to the dogs fucking.
Well, I was going to say, do you think he would shoot it like he shoots the dogs fucking? Like it just cuts to a wide comedy angle of just him, of just those two doing it doggy style.
Oh God, I don't want to imagine it.
I mean, I'm thinking of it in like terms of like Naked Gun style parody bit where you just cut to a bunch of like, you know,
like a bunch of visual, into a tunnel.
A bunch of visual metaphors, but there is no visual metaphor. It just cuts to dogs fucking.
It just goes some different animals fucking. It eventually goes to two Transformers fucking. And you're like, oh, that's how that works.
You know, okay. I just realized something.
What are you
talking about Sam fucking? So when Sam finally scored, do you think he called the tree guy? And just
the tree guy was watching through the window. He climbed the tree nearby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. Do you think the tree guy was still there? Until Sam called
He never
him.
came down. That's why he never appeared in the films again.
Yeah, he lives in the tree now. That's just where he lives.
Yeah, he just called him like, dude, I scored. And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, I had sex on top of my robot car. Oh, and the tree guy is like, can I come down?
No.
And then the evil spark turns the tree into a transformer.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. When you said tree guy, I thought you meant like an N,
no,
like in Lord of the Rings.
The most
Man,
impressive.
I forgot the N that was in this film. How do I keep forgetting these things?
Yeah, how do I forget about the N? God. So yeah, there's Transformers hijinks for a minute, and then Sam asks Bumblebee to take care of them, which involves Bumblebee fucking blowing up Sam's
house. How he just annihilates like Sam's parents' house, and no one really gives a fuck.
So apparently, when they made that scene, so that was a real house that they shot at, and the scene where Sam's bedroom gets blown to smithereens, they built an extension of the house to do that with the idea of, oh well, you know, it's just going to be a different part. You know, it's not going to be a part of your house, so don't worry about it. We're just going to pack it with explosives and then blow it up. After they did that shot, set the attic on fire.
Oh no!
So it did actually cause fire damage to the proper house.
I hope they kept the cameras rolling, because can't let that go to waste.
No, they were too busy shooting dogs, fucking unfortunately, to catch that.
That's why no one saw the fire.
Michael, the house is on fire. I don't care. Keep rolling.
Zoom in on the dog's nuts.
Yeah, just keep getting closer and closer. So the film. God, so that scene ends with basically the parents just being
just
like,
ended there, but
yeah, the parents are just like, accidents happen. Anyways, we're going on holiday to France, and it's like, your house got fucking blown up. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Humongous knows a guy, okay, who can fix it.
Oh, okay. He's got his guys over there, has he? To
he's also reaping for the insurance money.
Ah, of course. So yeah, then he goes to Princeton University, and is that when he starts seeing symbols, or does the symbols happen after? I mean, God,
he kind of has his flashes, but no, it cuts to him going to college. He meets his roommate, who is
his roommates. Where only one of them becomes relevant to the film. Everybody else is like, what the fuck ever.
He just kind of walks in, and they reveal immediately how fucking weird they are.
Yeah, so they run they run a web zone. 2000. They run a MySpace page. They run like an online alien conspiracy forum, and they have footage of what happened in Shanghai at the beginning of the film.
That's the thing.
Like,
they cover up all the Transformer stuff, don't they, somehow?
Yeah.
so they say that Shanghai was a gas explosion, which...
Yeah, Jesus, what kind
I
of...
don't know how that explains the big-ass robot who was on the road.
Well, you see, the
but
gas explosion propelled lots of shrapnel through the air, which just so happened to look like a giant robot.
It was like, I see it. It's like that artwork where, depending what angle you see it from, it forms a figure. I see.
Yeah.
I mean, not to date this episode, but recently, a water park in Sweden also had a gas explosion.
Oh, yeah, no, fucking... Maybe that was a Decepticon.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think it might have actually been Decepticon?
Well, based on another thing we've been made to watch recently, it might have been part of the Holy Grail War.
Fuck, we haven't seen that.
We've not watched an episode of that in a while.
No, I'm just...
I mean, there was a funny explosion in that where it's like, we've... I don't know.
That was what Skeleton wanted me to see, was a guy blowing up a hospital. And I was very entertained.
No, it wasn't. It was a tower block, because the joke was, we've magically protected this tower block. There's nothing they can do. And it was like, didn't matter. Every single steel beam in this tower has got C4 on it. Yeah, fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how you defeat mages with conventional explosives.
That sounds like a Michael Bay setup.
Yeah,
that does sound like
that is something that they really should be doing in one of these films. Just send a crack squad to just plant C4 over a transformer while it's distracted, then blow
while
it's
sleeping.
I'm guessing they never do anything like that. I'm guessing the humans never get a win aside from that scorpion.
No,
fuck.
They should have a thing where a Decepticon's in
Snake,
car mode, and they put sugar in his gas.
Oh, Snake! don't you remember, Snake? They did get a win in the first movie against Blackout, the big helicopter guy. Don't you remember?
Okay. I thought the humans only ever got Scorpion.
No, don't you remember the military dude? He literally slid under him, shooting him with the fucking grenade launcher, blowing it up.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I said earlier about why don't they just use grenade launchers? Like, wouldn't that?
Oh yeah, they never. This guy never went to Top Brass and said, the grenade launcher came in handy. Maybe we should invest in more grenade launchers for the anti-Decepticon force for Nest.
Yeah.
God.
So Sam's at college, and he meets all the frat boys, and then the idea is...
they're not frat boys. They're the nerd boys.
Okay, he meets all the dudes, but they kind of... they're like Michael Bay's idea of a nerd, which is still... They're dressed in, like, fucking polo shirts with backwards hats on, and they all speak like Marky Mark. So
actually,
they use computers that makes them fucking dorks.
No, actually, no, Michael Bay is actually on point there. They probably also watch wrestling, actually. Yeah, no.
That's true. They have multiple film posters for Michael Bay films in the background as well, including fucking Bad Boys 2, which becomes a plot point later in this scene. But they're just like, Sam, don't worry, we'll help you get laid. But oh no, the scene gets interrupted by his wacky parents, one of which his mother was like, oh, this girl was handing out brownies which have a weed symbol on it. What does that mean? Oh. And so there's hijinks with the mother where she's eating weed brownies, and much like cannabis does, it causes her to act silly rather than just causing her to immediately go to sleep. So
just give her a massive case of the munchies. We just cut to her just eating a big fuck off packet of crisps.
And
she's just eating Doritos with you. And Humongous is like, those are my Doritos, put them down.
They're just having a conversation, but there's just loud crunching in the back of the scene.
And Humongous is like, no, we're not having this.
No, what would it be more realistic is they just cut to the Sam talking to the dad, and the dad's like, we're going to France, and the mum's just having a massive whitey in the back of the car. She's just passively passed out. Oh no. During this time, does he go to like a party? Oh yeah, and then they cut to the night time, and it's like, yo dude, we have to go to this party so we can get laid.
Yeah.
So they go to like the most, like, I mean, it looks like the one from the fucking Social Network. Like, it's the least believable. It's those kind of frat parties that only exist in film, where like everyone's
they're in some weird giant shed or something. I'm just remembering a lot of dark browns in this scene.
Yeah, it's like Professor X's mansion. It's like there's a humongous fucking area, and yeah, everybody's doing beer pong and stuff like that. And ooh, Sam has caught the attention of a sexy lady. Meanwhile, Michaela's trying to ring him using Cisco WebEx back in the fucking garage. Oh yeah, so she works in a garage with she works at the stereotype garage because the other guys who leave are like big fat Harley Davidson guys. It's like, hey, don't lock up too late, Shugs, and leave her for the day. And she tries to ring Sam with Cisco WebEx, but to no luck. But it doesn't matter because she has got something to do. Because at that point, our favorite character from the last film turns up, who I didn't know his name in the last one, but I do now. He's the little coughlin guy, and his name is Wheelie.
Oh yeah,
because he turns into an RC car.
Yeah. God. Unlike his namesake, it doesn't rhyme. Thankfully.
No, that's true. Oh, yeah, that's right, because they go after McKay. Oh, yeah, that's right, because before he goes to Princeton, Sam gives her his jacket or some shit, and he's like, oh, you better take this. And that's so she has the piece of the Allspark on her, which is when Wheelie Wheelie scans it on her, because he was also at Sam's house for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, they have a fight in the garage. She burns his eye with a gas.
Is this before or after he starts having his mental episodes where he just starts reciting weird Allspark facts?
So that's later, because there's because there's the scene of the sexy woman at the party who just wants to fuck Sam no matter what.
But I thought he had a weird freak out there and started drawing in the food.
Oh no, you are right. Yeah, he sticks his hand in hummus and starts. Oh yeah, no, you are. Yeah, you are correct. Never mind.
That, and and you're thinking, oh, it's weird she's into him because he's a freak.
Yeah, it's like the most obvious thing in the universe, but they fucking drag it out because they think you're stupid. But yeah, he draws in hummus, and she's like, "Damn, I want to blow you big time." But he gets cock plopped by Bumblebee, who drove all the way cross country to meet him in fucking Princeton. He gets into Bumblebee, but the woman also gets into the Bumblebee car. Oh yeah, and also at this point, Bumblebee forgot how to talk again. He only speaks through radio, like he did at the beginning of the first film. Whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why. That's fine.
Marketability.
We've accepted this.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention, so when he was at his parents' house, he was like, yo, Bumblebee, I won't be able to bring you to college, okay? And then the robot started crying because they basically turned Bumblebee into a big-ass dog in this film.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's amazing that he isn't fucking the other dogs.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he is. Maybe we haven't watched it.
Maybe that's why we don't see him for the
there's
rest
a
of the film.
deleted scene.
What's going to
Oh,
say?
no.
But no, fucking... I've seen people who mainly, they're nostalgic about it, talk about, oh, Sam and Bumblebee have such a great relationship. And it's like, no.
No, they don't. The relationship that they have is Bumblebee cock blocks him in the first film and then tries to get him laid. And then that's kind of it. And then at the end, he has sex on top of the bonnet. And that's it. And then in this one, he stops him. He cock blocks him from being unfaithful to Michaela, but then that kind of helps him anyways. And then does nothing for the rest of the film.
God, that relationship drama really does just... you can...
It just comes and goes.
But yeah, she sees it and she's walking away and it's like, oh boy, this is going to be a subplot. But then she hears banging, which, hey, what do you expect? But she goes back and it's like, I think Michael Bay was looking at the script and was like, nah, I don't like that subplot. Cut it. Fuck it. She turns around.
I mean, you say that, but it does come back in a one-off line, towards the end of the film. But it's even he forgot about it. It's just stupid. Have we got... When's the bit where the Transformers are back at Transformers base and fucking Walter Peck comes in and says, you guys are out of line. I work for the president. I'm going to close this whole thing down.
Yeah, I don't remember the fucking order.
He's like, you guys got to all leave and Optimus Prime big dogs him.
Yeah, no, I remember...
literally big dogs him.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave, but what if something were to happen?
Yeah. Also, the racist robots are there having a bit too.
That's why the
Oh, yeah,
president
was that
wants
when
them gone. Like,
Is that why they finally introduced the
No.
racist robots? Or were they in Shanghai as well?
They were from the start as an ice cream truck.
Oh yeah, that's right. So the two robots that form together into one car for some reason. Don't care.
They're twins.
Despite the fact, yeah, but they turn into an ice cream truck, which was white and pink, but then their colors are green and orange.
Oh,
right, that's
They are
yeah.
they are white and pink,
Yeah.
but they become green and orange when they get the new mode. Oh yeah, the military.
okay. That's what I'm thinking of, because when they go back to Transformers base, they just scan a couple of shitty street cars and turn into that.
The military has been nice and put vehicles there. Like, yeah, you can take these.
Yeah, like it's Forza Horizon. It's just like, hey, yeah, you can pick these cars to turn into. Go ahead. We stole these from drug dealers and Bad Boys 2. Here you go. And then we get full racism from the racist robots, one of which is voiced by SpongeBob SquarePants himself, Tom Kenny, doing the ultimate W word that I can't say on the podcast, voices and mannerisms.
am I allowed to say it?
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, because you can't say that because that's not the Irish term.
I mean, it started as a term for Irish people.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true, but not the.
But it's not that.
version.
But I understand what you're saying. It's not. The term evolved, unlike the Irish.
Now it's about like white guys who want to be like black rappers.
Yeah, and it's kind of a 90s,
I mean, I guess
early
the Irish
2000s.
did also want to do that as well. You know.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember I'm trying to think of like a famous Irish person. You remember when Jerry Adams from Sinn Féin? Remember when he went on and he was like, "My name's Jerry Adams, and I'm here to say I think that Why did I
being
even
in
come
the
up with that joke?
IRA is a-okay.
Yeah, I believe. My name's Jerry Adams, and I'm here to say that I want you to support the IRA. There we go. I'm now just thinking of, you know how like in the 80s the BBC would hire actors to dub over Sinn Féin guys, but they just hire
Pierce Brosnan is playing Jerry Adams.
no, they hire like MC Hammer and fucking Flavor Flav and Grandmaster Flash to dub the voices, and it's just them rapping. I'm just trying to find anything to talk about with this film.
I'm struck. Like now we're beyond the college. It's just a blur at this point. I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
This is kind of like when you push up Gaussian blur in Photoshop and it just becomes like less and less defined. But that's this film.
The college subplot was an oasis of I remember this, and then
I know what this is. I mean, I know the
beat.
beats after the college stuff, but I just want to make sure that they're reflecting these films as they happen. But anyways, Walter Peck's just like, "Oh, you're out of line. I'm gonna slash your budgets or whatever," and then they're like, "Oh, but we have to stop the Decepticons." And what's this thing I'm hearing about this fall? And why doesn't the president know about that? Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. We got on top. And the racist robots are doing
bits, basically.
Yeah, they're saying some pretty funny stuff. And let me tell you. Then it cuts back to Sam at the college.
I think.
Well, no. What we forgot to say was. All right. Oh, sweet. Go ahead. I don't want to.
This isn't a plot summary. This is a memory test.
Yeah.
This. You know what? This was the memory test. So this was the Biden. This was the Biden memory test.
I feel therefore it's unfair to say he has dementia if that was the fucking test.
Yeah.
This film gave me dementia.
I'm trying to figure out if
this film broke Joe.
And it's trying to figure out if this is scene afterwards is the scene where Sam meets Optimus Prime in a fucking cemetery or not.
You know what? Between the first and the third movie, or between the first and the second movie coming out, you know, he began his term as vice president with Obama. So
that's true. Yeah, when he was sniffing people's hair.
Yeah. So not to get political, but this film might have, you know, like Uncle June falling down the stairs, you know, forwarded his dementia. This film may have kicked it into gear back then.
I don't know why, but I'm imagining like when they do the presidential debates, but it's literally they just make Trump and Biden watch this film and then quiz them about it afterwards. And where Biden's just like glitching, Trump's just like, that didn't happen. I just watched the film, that didn't happen.
No. I would have remembered.
He sees them. He sees the fucking Mountain Dew fucking dispenser over. He's like, should have been Coke.
Should have been Diet Coke.
It's okay. I'll still drink that crap.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll keep drinking it.
Hey, shoot me one.
Just kills him.
Megatron, I knew it. Stand up guy.
God. So Sam's in the car with Bumblebee and the sexy lady, and Bumblebee is very suspicious of the sexy lady, and we think it's because she's
I think
she's attracted to Sam.
Because she's trying to break up Sam and Michaela.
Yeah, and also Bumblebee also knows that Sam would cheat on Michaela if given a chance. So he's gonna.
Oh, of course, yeah. Does Bumblebee project the woman out of the does he eject?
He tried.
No,
I think he.
No, he did that thing.
Oh yeah, he smashes her head against the
That was
fucking
it. You were waiting for that moment because even I was like, I remember now because I was literally about to joke as Bumblebee was kind of doing all of this stuff to break them apart. He's like, yeah, and then he's gonna slam the brakes and smash her face. And the moment that, the sentence was leaving my brain, traveling down my head towards my mouth, the movie did it. And I was like, Jesus, that's fucking mean. Like,
Michael Bay knows his audience. Michael Bay knows what the people want.
That's true. They want to see women get their heads smashed against the dashboard.
Yeah, that's what I love seeing that in a film.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I loved when that happened in the Crying Game. Does she just get out of the car or what? Or does he just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, my car is weird," and that's it? I can't remember.
I think that moment just overrides the rest of that scene. Is like, wow, that was kind of fucking horrible.
And then Bumblebee drives into the cemetery, which is where Optimus Prime is. And Optimus Prime is just like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, what the fuck do they even talk? Is it just like, oh, there's these guys called the Fallen about, keep an eye on them, kind of thing? Because at that point, Optimus Prime doesn't know that he has the code in his head, does he?
I don't think so.
No.
They don't pick up the signs of him going steadily insane.
No, I think this is before.
That,
I think it's before that, and then he goes fucking insane in class, which the season.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Samus the day afterwards, and Dwight from The Office is the lecturer, and he's like, the joke is, the fucking Michael Bay joke is, oh, what if this guy was sexy? What if he wore a scarf and all the women wanted to fuck him? But it's Dwight from The Office. Isn't that the funniest thing you could ever think of? And no one was in the room at that time, so he just put it in the film. But
no one stops him.
Yeah, it's like it's fucking Princeton College, but the fucking course that they're doing is just about, so we're the fourth planet in the solar system, and we were.
Yeah, I was trying to work out what the fuck he was majoring in.
he was majoring in children's studies, not not in studying children, but studies for children, basically. Which is at that point, he's looking in his textbook, which is about space. And oh no, he started glitching out, and he starts reading through the book at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and then stands up and he starts doing bits, and Dwight is annoyed because he's upstaging him. And then he leaves class, and then he goes back to his room where he grabs green paint and he starts to draw symbols on the Bad Boys posters. Okay, and that's when Goblin... I think Michaela tries ringing him, but she can't get through or whatever. Oh, and then at that point... sexy lady who tried getting in the car yesterday, the guy who is his roommate tries to proposition her in the grossest way possible by saying, yo bitch, I have 12 inches of meat. I'm talking about a pizza, but maybe I'll give you some, as in my dick, but maybe the pizza as well. And it's just like,
my dick is currently on the pizza, please get it off, it's burning.
Yeah, I was like, 2009 writing. This is, you know what? They won't make films like these anymore. Nope. Kids. Nope. So then they go back to the room where Sam is still glitching, and he's throwing magazines on the floor. And his roommate's like, yo, dude, what the fuck? I got 12 inches of meat over here. And the woman says, I don't care. I want to have sex with Sam immediately. Throws the guy out, shuts the door. Meanwhile, Megan Fox was trying to ring him, but didn't get through. But she has, so Wheelie. Okay, So she was like to Wheelie, "What's up?" And he was like, "I want to go find Sam." And she was like, well, "I'm going to find Sam first, but I'm bringing you with me." So she puts Wheelie in a metal box, and then she takes a Southwest Airlines flight to Princeton. And this all, man, like what I imagine is like a 6-hour flight or whatever, all happens within the space of Sam not getting cock blocks, then glitching out in class. Okay, whatever.
She's going to have a rough time with him at college if every time he doesn't pick up the phone, she catches a flight.
I set up a meeting in Cisco WebEx. Why didn't you accept it? Yeah.
I was going to say, it's going to be very expensive missed phone calls.
This film is so, like, drawn out and truncated that I feel like he wrote the scene of Michaela walking in and seeing this woman seduce him, and then work backwards to figure out, okay, how do we get to that? And then after that scene, what is the rest of the film and how do the Transformers figure into it? But yeah, Michaela walks in and, oh no, the woman's having sex with Sam. And she's like, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you about Wheelie. We're through. Before Sam can say anything, oh no, it turns out the sexy lady was actually a sexy robot all along. Wow. Swede, tell us about Pretender. The rope. That's the sexy Roman robot
of the Transformers universe.
Oh, well, first off, she has a name, you know.
Yeah.
Alice.
Is that true?
Yeah, no, that's her name. But yeah, no.
Wow.
You see, so Transformers here, they can transform and pretend to be other things. What if Transformers could pretend to be humans?
Wow.
So, the thing I didn't get, but I guess I could understand, because don't they have like hologram technology?
Yeah, they do.
Like,
yeah, in this case, yeah, they have holograms.
So I guess in this is the explanation that she looks like a sexy lady because she's got holograms, or what?
No, this is holograms. If you look at that's just metal that's like imitating flesh.
Oh, so it's just like there's a layer of like silicone and paint on top of metal. Then.
Yeah.
Because then when she turns back into a robot, she's like very skinny and skeletal looking, and it's like, where did all the mass go?
Yeah, I have no clue either.
Yeah, I don't. ILM really phoned it in on that.
I hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
I mean, it's better than the fucking original fucking Pretenders from the 80s, where the gimmick was, we have a shitty little transformer that can fold up, and you put them inside of a shell that two shell halves, and it's an action figure, and they're all just like boring 80s dudes or like really cool.
See,
monsters.
I don't know. I prefer the idea of the Transformers trying to make like humans, but they look like what would the guys call it in Alien Isolation? The handyman or whatever it was, or the average Joe. Yeah, they just look like working Joes. And it's just like, well, you're very obviously not human, but I don't know what your game is. So let's see how this goes, I guess. But yeah, Snake, as you said, Michaela's walking away because she's like, damn, I can't believe he would rather have sex with her than me. But then she hears explosions happening and she's like, actually, I should maybe go and have a look and see.
Maybe there's an explanation, or maybe I just want to see him get blown to pieces for cheating on me. Either way
is win-win. And she goes back, and oh my god, it turns out that it was a Transformer robot all along.
Yeah.
So her and him and the meat sausage guy. They have to escape the robot by any means necessary.
He needs to get his 12 inches of meat out of there, or it'd be a big loss.
Exactly. That cost him $20, and you know, in 2009 money, that's got to be like $100 now.
Oh yeah, with inflation.
With inflation, absolutely.
With inflation, he's got a 15-incher now.
There, exactly right. They go into Princeton library with all their ancient texts, and robots blow it up. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention. There's a bit in this film when we watched it where there's a fucking enormous aspect ratio change.
Yeah, I forgot about the weird aspect ratio. I saw it was disorienting because
Gee, I hope he never does that again.
I hope he learns his lesson and doesn't do insane aspect ratio changes.
I genuinely don't remember any other film I've seen where just mid-shot there was a weird, like, was it a widening or a foreshortening of the fucking perspective?
So it looked like it was going from IMAX to like 16:9 or whatever.
Yeah.
But then in the DVD version, they had to correct it, so it kind of looked like when you zoom in a camera, but you also scale, or you zoom out a camera, but then you scale in at the same time to compensate. So everything was meant to try and stay in place, but it just kind of got really wide, then got really narrow, and then was fine.
It didn't look like it looked like a mistake as well as the thing. It didn't look stylistic. It just looked like, fuck, we have to switch. We have to play with the aspect ratio to.
It looked like when you like degauss an old-fashioned CRT, and the image comes back into frame again. Yeah, very odd. And the same thing kind of happened when they're getting blown up in the library, but it's fine because then Bumblebee comes to rescue them. They manage to kill the sexy robot by running her over, I think. I don't think it's anything that clever. They just run her over.
I couldn't really think of like a clever death. They just...
I think they might be slam her into a wall or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they fuck her up quite badly, which isn't very good. And then Bumblebee goes, I know the safest place for you three to hide. How about we go to this old bombed out castle in New Jersey? And they go to they're like hiding in a castle for a little while. And then, oh no, they don't. Fucking the car that they're in gets picked up by a big magnet. Oh yeah, that's right.
By a
helicopter. Yeah, sorry, sweet, go ahead.
Like there is fuck, now I'm just remembering his fucking buddy, his roommate just gets along on the ride too. And it just suddenly a helicopter comes. It's like, whoa, fuck, I just realized, did we completely skip the whole thing of Decepticons sneaking on board a ship and reviving Megatron?
Yeah, no, that was that was Reedman, right?
No, Reed.
Oh right, yeah. Oh fuck. Oh Jesus, my brain. Okay,
I'm not even trying. This is your two's game now. I'm just sitting back.
Yeah, I know. And Sweden, the bit where they go to the old bombed out castle, there's like a shitload that happens between that. So, oh god, I'm totally right. Okay, Swede. Yeah, you tell us. Okay, so a bunch of Decepticons fall on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, they're on an aircraft carrier. So it's not an aircraft carrier. It's just a ship, a cargo ship.
Okay,
and they're construction vehicles. When they come to like the ocean, the what is the very deepest part of the ocean, where Megatron is, they all jump down.
Yes,
because they're gonna revive him, and then they have another little gremlin.
Oh wait, no, sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, they had another little gremlin, and he's like, yes, in his most German accent. Ja, we shall revive the Megatron, but we need spare parts from the smallest one. And and then they beat up just one dude who's like, oh no.
Yeah, they just rip a guy apart.
I do remember the scene because so Megatron is dead now, technically.
Yeah. And so Megatron died at the end of the first film, and they dropped in the Mariana Trench. Yeah.
Oh, never. Yeah. Sorry, I'm struggling. Yeah.
No, that's fine. This film, again, it's like you described. It's like Memento. It's like we've witnessed a murder and we're trying to piece together what happened.
Like everyone we talked to and watched this movie, like even Transformers fans have a hard time remembering what the fuck goes on in this movie. Like Michael Bay movies is really great. Like I think there was a Transformer reviewer, a few, who like basically described as when you first watch them in the moment, you're kind of into them. Then you don't remember anything. Then you rewatch it and just go, oh god.
With the first film, I have like pretty clear recollection of.
Yeah, but I think that's.
I'm not super clear on it, but I remember the chronology of like I understand in broad strokes the basic filmic series of events, causality of what's going on.
I think that has something
to do with like
why. That has something to do with the Spielbergian elements. I think Spielberg was like...
Spielberg just knows how to make a clear chronology. But then, Michael Bay, for all his faults, I mean, Bad Boys 2,
the thing about this really is it's just kind of mush, like the plotting of this film. There's nothing, like, absolutely unfixably wrong with it. It's just there's no ebb and flow. There's no kind of rise. There's no this scene sticks out for this scene establishes that, and then you move on to the next thing, and like it causes a further chain of events. All that stuff is in there, but none of it none of it connects. It all feels so inconsequential in the viewing, because you get like Sam, the Allspark got him. And then it creates some gremlins and they blow up the house and the mum gets like whacked across the head and it's like, okay, what they're mad? It's like you drew a picture, but you give no actual focal point to it or like no central subject.
It's like he came up with a film in set pieces that they could do as CGI first, and then came up with a plot afterwards once the writer's strike was over.
That actually sounds like kind of plausible because, you know, again, this movie was made during the writer's strike, and they just said, fuck it, and powered through.
Yeah, and then when the writer's strike eventually cooled down, they just put him in a room for 2
I just realized something.
Get it done. But
Deadpool 3 did the same thing, but it's not going to be nearly as interesting as this one.
Snake, I feel like I had a really good tweet that no one properly appreciated, but there's fucking... So in the trailer for Deadpool 3, he wears like a wig now, and he looks exactly like Rob Brydon. And so my tweet was just, hey, glad to see Rob Brydon back on the big screen. But yeah, it's just this...
That is a joke that is niche.
Well, it's a joke that you would get if you like British comedy, I guess.
But I think even then, Rob Brydon he's in a weird position, like fame-wise. I don't think Americans know who.
Oh no! I mean, they never. I mean, Sweden. They never exported Gavin and Stacey to Sweden.
I have no clue. Let me Google it.
There you go.
I mean, your country was spared Gavin and Stacey.
While you're Googling it, so yeah, they have a little crab robot who's called like Dr. Bologna or whatever it was.
No, it's something like that. I think his actual name is Shrap.
I'm now just in another mental palace of thinking if Gavin and Stacey was exported to Sweden, what would they title it? Would they give it a unique name?
They probably just call it Gavin and Stacey. Right?
Gavin and Stacey.
Okay, you don't think they'd try and like give it a name that would appeal to the Swedish market?
No, like just Gavin Spacey would,
or like like the fat friend or something.
Oh no! I mean, did I ever tell you like that's what
moron couple is what it would translate as?
I'm pretty sure I said in the past, but like they did that with old comedies.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you give them a localized title to kind of make them more.
Young Ones, for example.
What was Young Ones called?
It was called Hemma Vest, so worst at home worst.
See, that kind of works.
And
my favorite example of that is like, how do you see like with French films where they translate them, but it's like, so Eurotrip just got translated to Sex Trip.
Oh,
and American Pie is just Sex College. It's like this, straight into the point. That's what I like.
I think I can't remember what country it is, but in one country, Die Hard, because Die Hard doesn't work in every country as a saying. Not every country just has a drug. But in one, it's called like the Glass Tower. Like, that's pretty strong.
That's pretty good. That's a classy name for Die Hard. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
So,
like, Megatron is revived. Megatron is like, fuck yeah. And then he goes into space. He goes to into space because...
Oh, yeah, and there's just a spaceship which has the fucking fallen on it.
Oh, yeah, we were watching that, like, so it wasn't a good idea to just dump his body in the ocean.
No.
Yeah, funnily enough. It's almost like they could just go and get him back.
Yeah.
Well, why hasn't anyone done this for Osama bin Laden yet?
Oh, yeah. This is what made me... For the briefest moment in time... When I first saw this, I was like, oh yeah, this movie is better because Megatron actually bitch slaps Starscream.
That's true.
But yeah, no, Megatron, it's so funny. Like, Starscream is like, yeah, jeez, I didn't know that you were dead, and Megatron is, all he says is just, nobody leads the Decepticons other than me. And then literally the moment after, he just goes, my master. It's like, what the fuck?
My favorite thing about Starscream in these films is that he is still like Snake, you have just seen Othello, so he is a bit of a Iago type in regards to constantly
but not quite as good as Iago. I really enjoyed Iago's wild ride. I would not describe this as a wild ride.
Yeah, Iago's the best fucking Shakespeare character because it's literally like, what does he want? Well, he wanted, like, they made Othello, like, well, in the original, it's like, oh, they made Othello, like, captain of the guard, and Iago was like, well, that's what I wanted. I'm going to engineer a fucking...
I'm about to ruin this man's entire career.
Yeah, not only gonna fuck up Othello's career, but also Castello, whatever his name is. I'm also gonna fuck up his career as well because I just don't particularly... Cassio.
Yeah, I'm gonna just ruin
Cassio.
everyone around me. I am such a petty, jealous bitch. Like everyone's going down except my wife.
You know
She's gonna ruin me. Spoilers for Shakespeare.
Yeah, and you know I don't even care if I don't get the job or not. I just want bitches to burn up. That's all. I just want to raise hell. That's me. But it's really funny that Starscream's like that. Like he's like a kind of Iago type, but he is still wide as fuck in this film. Just the combination of really wide guy, but he's like a weaselly conniver. I just find really funny.
Yeah, no, he's like I said. I think I said in the last movie, but
you know what? You've put given voice names. I can't think of many like wide connivers. They're always scrawny.
No.
Yeah, but like
Captain Swift's the nearest, I guess, and he wasn't even particularly conniving. He was just a liar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God.
like,
He's also not in a film. He's in a tabletop campaign.
Well, for now, let's not.
Oh, you're working
know.
on the screenplay.
Yeah, no, I got John McTiernan in on the film. We're gonna
but
make it
like he's
happen.
not even just wide. He's fucking like he's as wide as he's tall.
That is shit. You know that the Captain Swift film. In Sweden they're actually going to call it what is going to translate to wide conniver.
And in French, it's going to be called The Lying Dog Man.
Sex dog.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
sex
they're gonna-
dog.
Sex dog.
Oh, I think they called this movie Sex Dog.
Yeah, that's what this. Yeah, this. Yeah, that's what this was called in France. It's called Sex Dogs.
The first Transform was called Sex Car, and this one like Sex Dog.
Sex Dog, and then the next one's called Sex Spock. So the car that they're in gets picked up by a big magnet, and then they get taken over to a factory. And who's inside the factory? Well, it's Megatron, because as we said, Megatron got brought back to life earlier on. And Megatron was like, hey, where are the coordinates? And
No.
wrote,
Wait, Jake,
all right.
you have to say it correctly. He literally, the first thing he like says is "boy."
Oh, well, first things first, Megatron was like, okay, so what are we doing in this film? And the Fallen guy says, oh, well, if you get poked by the Allspite, you get some code. And he's like, okay, well, who's recently got poked by the Allspite? And I go, no, I guess they ring a guy, and he said, what happened to Sam? Where's Sam? Oh, he's gone to Princeton. Oh, fuck. So they had to go all the way over to New Jersey to go grab him. So anyways, yeah, they bring him to a factory. He calls him boy, really emphasizes on that as well, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Michaela and Sausage Man are just watching as Sam gets put on a gurney. Professor Crabtron puts squids up his nose, which was pretty sick. And yeah, it just basically was like, well, it turns out poking his brain doesn't help us. Let's open his head and see if that helps. And Megatron's like, yeah, we're going to fuck you up, Sam. I hate you. You suck. Before he gets to do that, though, bam, smash. The roof collapses in because fucking all the Transformers. Oh, yeah, that's right. Fucking Michaela brings up the Transformers and it's like, shit, I think Sam's in trouble. And then they just cut to a shot of all the Transformers in car mode driving from Los Angeles to
God, yeah.
New Jersey.
Oh no, they must have been
Sam's
on,
in
like,
trouble.
East Coast.
Ride out.
Right there. This is gonna be a long. This is gonna be a 33-hour journey. Let's go.
Convoy. Oh no.
Hey, fun fact.
Bumblebee's like, it's fine. I got a mixtape. Ah shit, I'm already in New Jersey. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
Jesus.
Well, I'll wait for you guys here. But yeah, Optimus Prime comes in like, wow, boom.
And then they go to a forest and they have a big ass fight.
Yeah, it is escape, and they have like the best fight scene. I remember when I was younger, I rewatched this. It was the coolest shit. It's kind.
I feel really bad because we're nearly 2 hours into this podcast and we're now only halfway through.
I know,
this
but
film.
this movie is so fucking comprehensible.
Yeah, this film is fucking.
I
nonsense.
didn't know. I'm not sure if it's a bit anymore. It's like this podcast has to be twice long because.
No, I think the bits are becoming real in real time.
Oh
I hate
god!
it. The Revenge of the Fallen podcast is going to be like 2 parts.
Was this the forest fight scene, by the way? We're
yeah. So
talking
this is
about
the
now?
forest. Yeah. So this
Okay,
is
yeah.
the big middle action. This is the big. This is the turn of the film.
You know,
as
they say that like after 5 minutes of being awake, any dream you remember, 50% of it is gone within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That's this fucking movie.
it is.
Yeah, it is a waking dream.
Yeah.
God. I'm not in a good way. this is one of those dreams where like all your teeth fall out and you're like, oh shit, am I dying? Should I go to the doctors?
Hey, Snake, I was gonna say, I don't think we're playing Helldivers tonight.
I mean, Jack hasn't messaged me about it. But maybe another evening. Maybe another evening.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of Helldivers, though, you know what? I'm just going to breeze through this. It's a cool fight scene. They do the thing that they said in the last film, which Spielberg was like, oh, the only CG element should be the Transformers, everything else should be try and be practical. They do a lot of cool shit. They blow up trees and whatever and manage to match it with like, you know, the robots punching each other and whatever. Cool. Nicely done. Really hard to track anything though. Sam's there for some fucking reason.
Yeah, the kind of clean action of the last movie is kind of just it's degraded into this is kind of busy and a bit trickier to make sense of.
Yeah. And Sam for some reason has to be involved in this fight scene, and he is literally the reason that it's not even a spoiler, but just explain the entire film. Yeah, Optimus Prime dies. So,
oh no.
Not Optimus Prime.
He gets a big knife through his chest. Well, before that happens, he rips a guy in half, which goes along with the thing of that we were saying in the last episode of, yeah, the Optimus in these films isn't really like the one in the cartoons or the other bits of lore where at least there he's kind of like a chivalrous knight who'd like, you know, he'll fight, but he doesn't really do anything too cruel.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like this, though.
Yeah, this is very Liam Neeson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this seems like the sort of thing that, Liam Neeson would like cruelly rip someone apart. No, I'm just allegedly. I don't think that Liam Neeson could actually do that. I'm just saying, based on the characters that he is portrayed in film, I could see him maybe ripping somebody in half. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know that apparently they had Liam Neeson lined up that they were going to do a remake of they were going to do a new Naked Gun film, and the idea was they were going to have Neeson.
No, I don't think he has that. I don't think he has that energy. I
think it'd be interesting though.
But then no actor has Leslie Nielsen energy nowadays, so
yeah.
The idea that they had Neeson in the first place.
He's a comedic actor who turned. Well, no, he's a dramatic actor who turned to comedy.
So that was it. He was a serious actor.
That's what I meant. I got it backwards. Yeah, but he didn't change how he acted from like dramas to comedy, and that's where the comedy came from. Is he never? Yeah,
he was incredibly deadpan. Mm-hmm. Like that's how it worked. Which I could see that kind of working with Neeson, where if he's trying to do his like serious Taken thing, but he's saying like "nice beaver" kind of thing, you know.
We're counting on you.
But from what I understand, it was Seth MacFarlane who wanted to do it, and it's like Family Guy isn't quite like it's gag a minute, but it's not quite.
Yeah, you're not on Naked Gun level. Like you're fine.
Yeah, there are some jokes in the Naked Gun where it's just like, oh, that reminds me of that TV show from the 80s. You remember that?
Yeah,
so I don't.
I mean, I'm just imagining I'm imagining him kind of going, "Nice beaver."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just him just doing like really serious readings of, "No, be very serious. Don't call me Shirley," kind of thing. So, but yeah, Optimus Prime's dead, and the only reason that Prime is dead is because Sam was like, "Hey, help me! I'm a fucking loser," and then Prime's looking in his direction, and that allows the Decepticons to basically run a train on him and fucking rip him to pieces. So it's like Sam basically manages to get Optimus Prime killed. So
yeah.
What a fucking loser.
Anyway, now it's basically all the Transformers have gone for a movie, and you have to follow Sam on a little treasure hunt.
I do remember
he goes to the Omi Castle in Princeton.
I think I remember Swede, you saying at this point this would have been a good cliffhanger ending.
Yeah.
I agree with that, if only because it meant the movie would have been over by now. I don't know whether it would be a good cliffhanger ending, but it would be good that it would have ended.
It is true. Oh no, I fucking remember now what happens. And like, basically, Megatron and Starscream gets the fuck out of here. Megatron kicks.
They go to the top of a fucking. They go to the top of the Sears Tower, and they're just doing bits.
Yeah. And then he literally says, "Enough disguises. The world must know of us." And then the Fallen literally hijacks, like he fucking does the Eggman bit from Sonic Adventure 2, and he basically just says, "Humanity, you're gonna die unless you sell out Sam Witwicky." And I'm gonna be honest. I think every human would do it, even his parents.
Yeah,
I think they would have done it even if they were
Humongous
getting...
like is putting his hand up like, how much? How much?
Well, no. So at this point, they cut over to Hugh and Julie Mungus, who are both in France. You know they're in France because they're right outside of the Eiffel Tower. A mime comes over to the table, and they're eating mollusks. Like they try to fit in like every French stereotype you could put. A guy cycles past in a striped shirt with like onions. Or
There's a
onion
mime
Jerry
just
cycles
hanging
past.
out.
No, there is literally a mime in that fucking scene.
There's
Like,
even
that's the
French
thing.
people there.
Oh fuck!
There's even French. Emmanuel Macron is on the table behind.
You know, like people go to Hawaii and they get a lei. Well, Humongous just has like a rope of onions around his neck.
And he's just eating them like apples.
No, wait,
Yeah.
wait, you joke.
Like
I
fucking
think
shit.
he literally does. I think
Yeah.
I don't
No,
even
they're
know if
eating-
I'm
no, they're-
joking.
No, Swede, they're eating snails because that's like the most
no,
like
no.
if you're a fucking thick guy, it's like, oh, French people eat snails.
No,
That's so
fuck it.
fucked
I'm
up.
going back to Netflix and checking this
Oh,
out.
He's got to
okay.
check if he's wearing the fucking onion lei. I don't.
But anyways, so then they're in France, and then France gets attacked by falling meteorite robots, which causes everybody to run away.
In the biggest missed opportunity, literally biggest missed opportunity, the Allspark does not fall on the Eiffel Tower and turn it into the Eiffel Tower transformer.
Yo, that would have been fucking sick.
That would have been
it's-
fucking cool.
It's like that British there used to be the show on in the 90s called like basically it was about like those clowns in Congress, they're at it again, but you know, it's all those clowns in the Commons, they're at it again. But the animation at the beginning was of Big Ben but as a crocodile, and like as a kid I was like, yo, that shit's sick. But then the actual show would come on and it's just like, we have Tony Benn on. I was like, I don't give a fuck about that. Swede, so what is in that scene?
He does not have an onion thing, but
No,
something
he doesn't. A mime comes to the table and he's like, hey, beat it, buddy.
But what I did after
Is he wearing a beret?
after the Fallen
He's
basically
wearing a
tells
beret.
humanity to find Sam Witwicky, which that does amount to me. I forgot that the military base. So the military base, we cut back to that.
Walter Peck comes back and they all draw guns on the Transformers,
but
and the Transformers immediately go into fighting style.
Yeah, but just before that, you know what they do just before that? Like,
What?
you see a helicopter carrying Optimus Prime's corpse, and it's like, and
Oh,
they just
yeah.
drop it. They fucking drop it. And just
No respect for Prime, huh?
Yeah.
Just fucking drop that corpse.
yeah.
So then
That's
it cuts
what I
to
want
Sarah.
at my funeral. Just airdrop my corpse
Yeah.
into the casket from a mile.
Yo, imagine if they did that to Tom Scott. Like, you know, like in that last video where he gets picked up by the heli. Yeah, what if they
I
just
don't
cut
know
the
why I
strap?
thought he was about to say, imagine if they did that to King Charles.
I mean, that'd be good too.
That'd be
you know?
alright.
The guy was a bit hippy dippy. I can see that happen.
Yeah.
Or maybe King.
I mean, say what? Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when this episode is going out. I mean, he might have died by the time this came out. I mean, if he did, rest in peace, King Charles. I guess if he's still alive, don't rest in peace. Be okay. I
wonder if King Charles will also go out in a forest battle.
Try chemo. It might agree with you.
That's true. And if that doesn't work, nuts and berries like Steve Jobs. And then make a new iPad or whatever. I don't fucking know. And so they go to a castle. They go to a castle in New Jersey. And Sam's like, "Oh, I don't know what the fuck to do. Oh, Optimus is dead. Fuck." And Michaela's not talking to him because he tried to fuck a robot earlier. And then the guy that he lives with, the meat guy, was like, "You know what? I'm going to call my friend in the alien busting community. I think he'd have a solution to this."
I see you're skipping the bit where you have to interact with
We're over 2 hours in.
Sweet, I forgot the racist bots were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the racist bots are just there and they're just like, damn, Honky, I can't believe you got Optimus killed.
Damn,
Yo,
yo.
that's straight tripping, yo. And I was like, this is good.
I am
This is
just-
exactly what I
I'm
want.
so happy you're here,
I
Skids
just
and
know-
Mudflap.
I just know that they had to, like, even though Spielberg wasn't there, like, even the producers like, no, Michael, we're not putting the N-word here, but it's authentic.
No, I thought you were going to say that basically whenever the executive producers weren't on set, that's where he brought the racist robots in, which is why they're not in the entirety of the film.
God.
This film, did this film have less black people in it? Is that why it's just like...
This film had no black people in it.
So that's why the robot is like, damn, these robots have got to carry the burden of all the black actors.
The only black person who was in this film, and we haven't mentioned any of the side characters, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no, it's like one of the...
Sam and Michaela are the only ones that you need to care about.
It's one of the military guys.
And even then, caring about Sam is broadly optional.
No, we're in it for Michaela and Humongous. That's all we care.
Humongous. And my boy Humongous.
And also one more character that we're about to introduce, but yeah. So 12 Inches of Meat goes, oh, I know a guy in the alien community, and fortunately enough, he lives in New York City. So we're gonna go visit him now. So they go to New York, and who does it happen to be? Oh, it's John Turturro from the last film, the guy he worked at Sector 7G or whatever it was. The guy, they were the clandestine Transformers guys.
Yeah.
But now he works in a deli. He was in a deli with his mother, and he's like, hey, yo, Spadacopter, am I right?
Turns out, because Sector 7 never existed, his pension doesn't exist.
Yeah, so he had to go work at the meat shop with his family, which is sad. And despite the fact that he works in a fucking Italian deli, and all the people there are dressed in, like, you know, aprons and shirts or whatever, but he's dressed like a fucking patissier. Like, he's in all white with a fucking chef's hat on, and it's like, why are you dressed like that?
I know. Who knows?
Do you think that was his choice? Do you think he was like, "Oh, Michael, I got a really funny idea"?
Oh yeah, no, he seems like a method actor would do that.
I mean, that's real power of method acting to do it around CGI robots. Is like, all right, the Transformers are going to have to, you know, they're going to have to play with me here. They're going to have to follow along on this.
So I've watched this film twice, as I've done with the other, as I did with the first one, and as I'll have to do with the next one. But when I initially watched this, I thought that the connection was 12 Inches of Meat guy was this guy's nephew. I had completely forgotten the alien subplot of it. And so this just completely changed the dynamic for me. I thought it'd been funnier if the meat guy was his nephew. I thought that would have given it more juice, but
nope.
Apparently not.
No.
Why the fuck did they even... So they went to him and they were just like, can you help? Oh yeah, that was right. We need to find the Fallen. Oh, okay, I think I might have some paperwork about that. Let's go have a look. He makes the only joke of the film, which is like, these are some top secret documents. Please don't tell my mother. And I went, haha, very good.
Also, they're not after the Fallen. They're basically after one of the guys. So the idea is like they're trying to find what the Fallen is
Jesus,
after.
Yeah.
But basically,
they're trying to figure out what the Fallen are after, and they think, well, if we can find what the Fallen are after, then we can stop the Fallen, I guess.
And so they need to find one of the Seekers, which descriptively just they just searched for shit. Like, apparently we're just searching for, like, backstory. They were searching for shit. They're looking for one, right? And they find one. And they find one. And
he's at the Smithsonian. He's at the Air and Space Museum in Washington. And they go there, and it turns... Oh, and Wheeler's with them, and Wheeler's doing bits, because he's like a little guy. And they go to the National Air and Space Museum, and then it turns out that their robot in disguise is a F-21 Blackbird, or whatever it's called. And they use the Allspark on him to bring him back to life. And then, oh no, he's a Decepticon. Actually, but it doesn't matter. He changed eyes. He's an Autobot now. It doesn't matter. Now, Swede.
Yeah?
How long was this guy on Earth for?
I have no fucking clue how.
Yeah, because the Blackbird was only developed in like the 60s. So like, what the fuck was he doing until then?
He must have like had alternate mode. It is probably on the wiki, but like
maybe they based the Blackbird off of him.
Oh my god!
But yeah, no. But also you're gonna have to remember, Bumblebee has apparently been here for a while, but apparently they were...
He can change... Yeah, it was shown that he can change shape. He can, take on a new car for
them. No. Yeah, so he...
I guess.
Yeah, no, so they can, he could have easily just been a plane for ages, but, yeah, it's like, what... But,
was he just waiting for planes to turn up and he was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, wait, hang on. What did the... I guess they just turned into animals, the Fallen, didn't they? Because they were like, we don't have any cars to just copy.
No. Oh, no, the Fallen didn't turn into anything. The Fallen was just the Fallen.
No, he turns it like space jet.
Oh,
basically
yeah.
just a mishmush. But yeah,
You know what would have been really funny is that what if he had turned into like an old fashioned UFO, and that explained like all the conspiracy.
God, now you're
theories
just
and
remembering
stuff.
that one of the
Yeah, they could just tie together all of the, conspiracy theories into a neat
Oh
little,
yeah,
like,
what if his
Transformers
transformer
bow.
mode looked like that famous like Illuminati symbol, which is the eye above the pyramid? Yeah,
Yeah.
what if he turned like into a robot that looked like a big ass eye?
Ooh.
There we go.
What if a Transformer killed JFK?
Ooh, yeah. What if it was like one of those goblin guys and he just turned into a sniper?
Oh, young Wilkes Booth was actually gonna be. Oh, he was Booth.
John Wilkes Booth, you're jumping
Well, no,
back.
John Wilkes Booth was the guy who assassinated Lincoln.
Yeah. You're thinking,
Lee
you're thinking
Harvey
Lee Harvey
Oswald.
Oswald. For,
Yeah, that's what. No, he was like.
but I do also like John Wilkes Booth being a Transformer as well.
No, both of them at the last second were like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it." But turns out their gun was a transformer. He said, "Nah."
And it was an all Decepticon play keeping Lincoln's attention.
Oh my god! You know that they always say that we should like keep an eye on signs for like young men to stop them from potentially becoming like murderers and killers. I mean, the biggest one is just if you have 3 names. That seems to be the big giveaway is whether you're going to assassinate the president or not.
Not the the victim, not the assassinator. Actually, I guess one of them's not a name but a title. But yeah, the car that was driving the assassins who took out Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Yeah, the car was a transformer who drove them to that restaurant.
Oh my god. I mean, he did have pictures where they were like, oh, there's Model T. That was a transformer. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, I guess.
Whatever. They find him. He talks about
They go to the National Air and Space Museum, and the guy who was a Blackbird, he's a pirate. He's a big ass pirate.
He's an old fucking man.
Guy.
Yeah. Good old.
And he farts and he spits and
he makes us feel like, well, I used to be on the Decepticon, but we can change sides,
The
and
moon
then Wheelie
landings
goes,
didn't-
I want to be a good guy now, and then he fucks Michaela's leg.
the moon landings didn't actually happen. The moon is a transformer that came down to Earth so they could shoot it.
Oh no, Snake! You have to get to the Snake! You have to get to the third film.
Oh my god! There's gonna be moon transform. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh boy! Spirit science is real.
It's really real. So the pirate transformer goes, yeah, I know where the guys are. And don't worry, we don't have to walk there. I'm just gonna spirit bomb, and we're gonna appear where we need to.
Yeah, they're just.
Which turns out to be Jordan. They go to the fucking desert outside of Egypt. It's great, cool, all right. And now we're in the last hour and a half of the film at this point.
Yeah, no. And thankfully, not much happens. It's like,
thankfully, not much happens in the last.
I think we can talk about the interesting points, which is so for some reason they have to drive. Okay, so they're in the desert and they're like, oh, we need to find the location, and they find the location, and it turns out that they need to go through a checkpoint in order to do so. So a perfectly maintained Chevrolet drives on this old ass dirt road, and they get to a checkpoint in Jordan, and the guy who's the head of the checkpoint is played by Deep Roy, who's a little actor man, and Wheelie says, oh, he's a little guy, make him feel big. And I guess, I don't know, Wheelie would know that because he's also a little guy, I don't know. But yeah, he lets them through, but then that alerts the authorities because they were looking for Sam Witwicky, and I guess that brings in military attention, I guess. What's the Walter Peck guy up to at this point? He's just like,
he's in the air.
Oh yeah, he's in a plane for some fuck. Yeah.
So this is the plan. Basically, they're like, oh, we found Sam here. We're gonna go and help him. And like Nest is doing like,
let's put Optimus Prime's big ass body on our cargo plane.
They're playing a little prank on the suit guy. Little prank where like, oh no, we gotta get out. We gotta have to jump out. Jump, and basically he pulls his parachute and just gets thrown off the plane, and that's it. He's gonna die out in the desert.
Yeah, which is really funny. I mean, he doesn't die because you eventually see a scene of him at the end where he has a phone and he's trying to like get a call with the president, and I don't know, like a goat's looking at him or something stupid like that. Optimus Prime, they fucking throw him off the plane as well, but he has a parachute, so you just see this fucking limp, dead body just floating down to Earth peacefully on a parachute, which is cool. And then there's just a big-ass fight scene, basically, throughout the end of the film. So Devastator turns up. Sweet, if you want to talk about Devastator for a second.
This was literally the main marketing push from the movie. Devastator is literally just a bunch of Transformers combined into a big one. All construction themed thing. And like John Turturro and what is it? The roommate guy and the racist
Sausage Man. Yeah. Just call him Sausage Man.
Yeah, Sausage Man and the racist robots. They're all there. Oh, and one thing I've noticed in that, like things are happening around them, but the racist robots are still vehicles, which is like another thing of these movies really don't consider the Transformers characters.
No.
But it's just something. But yeah, suddenly the Devastator comes out and it's like, oh fuck, racist robots, save us. And it's like, oh no, wait, this is racist robots, they can't fight. And
they can only do hijinks, and that's it. Like,
all they do is give him like.
What if their hijinks saved the day?
All they do is give him a.
They kind of did.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They just gave him a sore throat. That's it.
Oh yeah, sorry. They just slowed him down for a minute.
So the real hero, J.K. Simmons, like it's going on with like 5 billion other parts, but basically Devastator is climbing the pyramid because turns out the pyramid is like the big machine the Fallen after.
Oh right. So what the Fallen were after all along was the machine that we saw right at the beginning of the film, which felt like a million years ago at this point. I mean, it was literally 16,000 years ago. So,
yeah.
Was a machine that they were going to use to harvest energy from the sun.
Yeah.
They wanted to turn the sun into pure energon. But if you do that, well, you destroyed the Earth at this point.
Yeah.
But the Prime said you can't interfere on any planets that have life on them. And then one of the robots said, fuck that. That's lame. Ain't doing that. That's the one that they called the Fallen. That's who the guy in the film is.
Because he fell.
Because he fell somehow. He fell over and he couldn't get up.
Ellie, I've fallen.
I'm just thinking about the logistics of being told, right, don't do this on any planet with life. And if you think about it on a cosmic scale, that does leave an awful lot of planets. But some guy had to be like, no, I'm going to pick the one planet with life and fuck with it.
So all the robots then, they all hugged each other in a big ball and fused together to hide this machine. And then that's inside one of the pyramids, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Interesting detail about Devastator for you, Swede. So Optimus Prime is made out of 10,000 individual moving parts.
Yeah, Devastator is
Devastator 80,000
individual
moving parts.
Isn't Alice somehow still bigger than all of them?
Like, she was like one of the most complex models, but Devastator was like one of the biggest projects that ILM ever undertook. According to Bay, when they showed this off opening night, and it was the first time Spielberg saw it, Spielberg leant over and said, "That's the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen."
I mean, it is.
Devastator was on screen, so there we go.
I mean, it is cool.
It's pretty.
I mean,
neat.
I don't know whether that was the bit where his testicles were hanging, and John Turturro said, "Oh, I'm underneath the throat," or whatever the fuck it was that he said, but.
My balls,
yeah.
They're burning the computer. My balls.
The balls blew up the render farm at ILM, which was why which is why Thingy turned up Lucas with the water buckets. So Sam manages to get into the pyramid first and finds the machine, and it turns out it's not really a machine. It's like a magic dagger. But he touches the dagger, and the dagger immediately turns into dust.
That happens earlier again because these movies. But basically, the primes, basically all just said after they kicked their brother's ass who fell down the stairs.
The primes all joined together. We've said this. They formed a combo hombo and turned into a big sphere. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. But and thankfully Sam had his cum sock with him so he could gather up the dust.
Yeah, he just took one of his socks off and just started filling it full of magic
sand. At this point, I'm just gone. None of this stuck.
I know.
You
At
could
this
tell.
point,
You could tell me at this point that Michaela like ramped her motorbike off of the pyramid as it exploded, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that probably fucking happened."
And
I
then,
mean, if that happened, we would have remembered that, but that isn't what. I mean, Snake, I thought you were going to say that you're now getting to the point where you're now starting to forget other things as we're trying to explain this.
I can't remember my pin code.
Yeah, we're causing like brain damage as we're trying to explain what the fuck happens at the end of Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. So Sam's just getting chased about. I mean, it's the end of the last film where like Sam's just running about like a
Yeah, that's
moron,
like
and then-
that is all he contributes to the film. He gets a MacGuffin and then he runs. But he's not even like Tom Cruise running, where it's just, man, that guy can fucking run. He's just
And then it
running.
didn't matter because then Sam gets shot or like he just trips over and he dies. Somehow.
yeah,
He
yeah,
I know,
becomes
an
the
explosion
Fallen.
happens and he flips so hard he dies.
yeah, but it was a really cool flip. It was a really fucking cool flip.
And it was really funny because not only is Michaela there, but when so his parents got kidnapped earlier when they were in Paris, basically. And the Decepticons brought the parent. I think they were using the parents as a bargaining chip.
Yeah, something like that.
But it never really paid off. But anyways, it just means that his girlfriend and his parents and John Turturro and Sausage Man can be there when Sam
Oh no,
dies.
Sausage Man and John Turturro aren't there. Turturro is busy climbing the fucking pyramid.
Oh, right, yeah, no, fair enough, when Sam dies.
And Sausage Man, he's out of the movie. He's like in the fucking chasm where Devastator was. He's like
He's gone to get another pizza because he's like, I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, you kid, you said you had 12 inches of meat. Let's see it." And so Sam dies, and then Sam goes to heaven, and heaven's full of Transformers.
Oh
And
yeah,
they're
that
like-
did happen. I fucking Christ. He goes to the fucking Transformer afterlife, and it's like Pokemon.
Yes,
the first
and
movie.
you can tell it's the afterlife because it's just full of white smoke.
But you
And
want
it's
to know
just
the
in
most
void.
unrealistic part about this? They talk about
What's that?
They talk about his bravery and how he's a great leader.
All you
Yeah, how
do
the
is
fuck
run
did-
away. All you do is
It's like, have you seen the other two films? Like, what the fuck are you talking
No,
about, man?
I think they must have gotten him like with wrong Sam Witwicky.
Well, I was going to say, do you think they were saying that because they knew he was going to die and they were being nice? To
Yeah,
him?
like, oh fuck, we were hoping to say this to the military guy.
Well, actually,
Oh, yeah, we thought you were going to be Josh Hommel, but yeah, never mind.
No, they just go. So okay, we know your dad, Humongous, and like
Oh yeah, Humongous Theosis. So yeah, you will bring you back.
yeah, just gonna have to be nice towards you because your dad.
He's real important.
Yeah. One of the primes, one of the primes was an offender bender a little while back, and your dad just made that disappear. So,
I mean, God, isn't it really? It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it so strange that Sam Witwicky is a fail son?
No,
he's like, yeah. I mean, but that is what these films are about. They're about failed children just failing.
oh, apparently,
Not even failing upwards. It's like failing sideways
Yeah.
into a weird alien world.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, Sam, you've been through so much. You should be the most interesting man in the world, but you're just so lacking in charisma.
That is, I mean, that would be really funny when we get to the third one because they do kind of dig into that a little bit.
yeah.
But anyway, so the
Like,
robots
they fucking
say,
ask Optimus Prime, is like, hey, do you have Sam's number? And he's like, oh, I deleted it.
yeah, Sam, I don't know which Sam, I know a few. Wiki, never heard of them.
Yeah, he kept talking about the time in Mission City when Megatron called him boy. I had to
He
block.
kept talking about his dad for some weird reason.
He tried
And
to
the
find
dogs.
his friend and died climbing that tree.
Optimus. The other Autobots are like, Optimus, shouldn't we just relieve Bumblebee of this duty? No, Bumblebee is making a great sacrifice.
So yeah, the fucking heaven robots bring Sam back to life, and not only does that bring him back to life, but it also brings his knife back to life. His knife. To
Oh
life.
yeah, the
His
Matrix
life
of
knife.
leadership.
It brings
by the
him
way.
back. It brings him back to knife.
Oh yeah, by the way, at this point they were not afraid of calling things Matrix, so they finally had.
Oh yeah. So at this, so the Sun Machine's just called the Matrix.
No, that's the key. The key is called the Matrix of leadership,
fuck.
and it has nothing to do with leadership. It's literally just just the Prime can use it. Anyway, Prime is back, but he's a bit injured. Oh
No, that's not true. Sam then runs over to Prime, stabs him with a knife, and the knife brings him back to life.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Prime is a bit injured. How he's gonna fight without being injured? Oh, we know why. Jetfire is like, fuck it, rips his heart out, takes my part.
Oh yeah, so Pirate Man just says, "I'm going to sacrifice my body to you," and then Prime so I think that's probably why they had to put Soundwave in at the beginning, just to explain, this is something that Transformers can do. Because then Prime, in a really creepy way, just assimilates this robot into himself and becomes double the size.
Yeah, he gets a jetpack.
Yeah, and then he gets a jetpack and a big ass cannon on his arm.
And he literally just says, "Let's roll," and flies to kicks the wall in ass.
Yeah, and then he destroys the fall, and then Megatron runs away.
And Megatron Prime has his most iconic fucking line, which is just, "Give me your face." And
oh yeah,
God.
What if we take his face?
That's it. It also has my favorite scene with Megatron, where he just gets thrown through a wall. He tumbles around, just going, and then pathetically just Starscream.
We forgot to talk about the scene where the military guys are in a house, and it does like a David Fincher shot where the camera goes through a hole in the wall, goes all the way around the room, goes out another hole, and then for some reason goes back into the room again, and a little bug.
I thought that was in the first movie. It was in this one?
I don't.
No, it was in this one because it was like in a. Yeah, so the entire action of this film is like there's a tiny ass village just outside of the pyramids of Giza. Don't ask questions about it. And yeah, basically they like live in fucking Mario ass ruins in the middle of the desert. And yeah, because there is a scene where the camera flies through shit in the first one, but that's when they're in Hoover Dam.
Oh.
And yeah.
Is that, are they all hiding out in a house while the Transformer battle's going on around them?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, yeah.
They just cut to the humans. What are they doing? Oh, nothing, because this is a Transformer fight. Neat. We need to get Sam and his life knife to Optimus.
What happened to the knife at the end of the film?
Oh, Optimus just still has it in his chest.
Oh, okay.
Like,
they didn't put it in a metal box, and the government were like, "We'll take that."
So it's a reference to. It's like meant to be the Matrix of leadership, which is an existing thing, which basically just Optimus Prime just has this in under his chest windows.
Right.
And it's like kind of meant like, this is the thing that gives me wisdom or whatever. But
it's just the fucking Triforce now.
Yeah, no.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, the original thing was MacGuffin, but this one isn't. Like, this one is more or less he just has this in his chest. He just
got like a fucking firmware upgrade.
Yeah, no, basically.
Did any of us remember? Because I just had a quick look at Wikipedia to see if I missed anything. Did any of us remember that the Air Force and the Navy just airstrike?
Yeah, no, I just realized we've forgotten the most important fucking scenes of Gene Simmons. You know where he is. You know where he fucking is, James.
Where?
He's directly under the enemy scrotum.
Oh no, I made that joke earlier. We were talking about because that was when what's his face?
God, fuck! This movie is fucking. Oh god.
So basically, the end of this film is the Autobots go. You know what? No more legal red tape for us. We're all good. All the Decepticons are dead. Don't worry about it. And then it just ends on fucking Sam and Michaela having a big old kissy next to the pyramid. Boom. Cut to credits. 2 extra scenes after the credits. One is them all back in the States, like. Then the mum and the dad are just chilling, I guess. And then the next one is he's back in the fucking science class where what's his face from The Office is like, "Oh, you're not gonna have another freak out eye," and he was like, "No, I learned my lesson from last time. LOL." That's how the fucking film ends. Oh god,
man,
this film's shit.
Yeah, I know.
I can't. I don't really know what else to say about it.
Like,
it's a fucking mess.
I'm not sure if this is still when it first came out, it's easily the worst of the trilogy, I would say.
I mean, when the first hour of the film we were having fun, I thought, it's not that bad, but then it nosedives.
Oh yeah, the moment that Optimus Prime dies, the film dies.
Yeah, just the entertainment goes with it. And it's funny because, it's not like Optimus Prime is holding up the movie's entertainment, but it's just somehow the thrills go with him.
I mean, the whole the thing is like the first hour until Optimus dies, it builds, and then it fucking halts completely because you're gonna have to have them moping around for a bit and then fuck around. That's like that's why it feels like two movies,
Yeah.
This was his attempt. I feel because in my head I was kind of like, was this film his attempt to doing like Empire? Like, was this meant
didn't
to be
want to
the
make that
Dark
comparison, but yeah, if you're doing a trilogy, then you have your lowest point in the middle. It's like, shit, Optimus is dead. And how do we get out of this one?
No, that's why I said like this. If this was a trilogy and they actually kind of planned it, that would have made sense. Maybe ending it with like Optimus dead, but and stuff like that.
And Sam dead.
Yeah. But we can't.
But then in the next one, Sam doesn't actually come back.
We can't.
They just bring in Marky Mark one movie earlier. Or is he coming in the next film? What the hell is happening?
Yeah, so the end of the Sam trilogy, the end of the Sam trilogy is the next one.
Oh, okay, so we got some more Sam. I don't know why, because I don't like him, but I'm also happy to hear I'm going to get more Sam. Maybe they'll bring it home in this one.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm excited to get to the Mark. I mean, I don't know if we'll do the fourth and the fifth. I kind of like it just because I want to get to the Marky Mark.
Yeah, no, they're way more entertainingly bad.
Yeah. Oh God. I don't know what else to say about this.
I ended the first film kind of questioning like how do you get this many movies out of this? And you two were like, oh, you'll see. And I end the second movie going, how do you get more fucking movies out of this?
You'll see.
How do you get another one out of these? Jesus Christ.
This brand has been going on for 40 years, Snake. They will get shit out of it.
There's a lot of graves to dig up for this franchise. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Oof. So this was the fourth highest grossing film of 2009, if you can believe that.
Oh, what the
first grossest?
Well, I was going to say, for a bit of fun, do you two want to try and guess what the first what the three films in front of it are? 2009.
2009.
Did we do? Okay, right. This will be a struggle because I can't remember any film that came out in 2009.
Avatar? Was it Avatar this year? No.
Avatar was the highest grossing film of 2009 with $2 billion.
A movie more boring than this one.
I know.
In my opinion.
In your opinion, well, I'm going to say I think you should rewatch Avatar.
No, I don't think I should.
No,
you'll think it'll be like you're watching Fight Club. Like, oh, this thing's just snappy as hell.
Well, okay, what was the other two then?
Let's say so. The second one is the sixth entry in a
Fast and Furious.
Famous books to film.
Oh, I just jumped to 6 in the series. I didn't even hit books.
Oh, it's
Harry Potter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
But can you remember which part it is? The
sixth one. Then it's
Deathly Hallows.
No, that's
seven.
This would be not Goblet of Fire.
The Sorcerer's Testicle.
That's
I used to know it. I used to be into Harry Potter when I was younger. But
never for me. I was an Alex Rider kid.
Yeah, I thought they were lame. This is part on the Half-Blood Prince.
Half-Blood Prince. Yeah.
AKA Harry Potter and Snape. That's literally what all the films are. It's just Harry Potter and Snape.
Snape. Severus. Snape. Dumbledore.
I guess I'm
number three number three, worldwide gross of $886 million. This is like the third or fourth entry in a CG series, which I feel like no one would even remember at this point.
Is it Ice Age 3?
It is Ice Age 3 or 4, yeah. Do you remember the subtitle?
God, no. I only watched the first one.
Like something, if it's the third one, it's like, is that the one where they're on like literally on a ship? Or is that not
The Great Flood?
Oh no,
no, Swede, you're thinking of the Penguin films.
No, it's the one where they go underground with the dinosaurs in it.
Yeah, so yes, it's the fourth one. It's Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. So,
man, I can't believe those.
There is a weird thing with those kids' movies that just get a sequel every 5 years, and it's like for another generation of kids.
No, Ice Age is weird because they were cranking those up like pretty regular. Because the first Ice Age came out in what, like 99? Right?
No, it came out.
It was like 2004,
2002 or something.
Yeah, no, you are right. So Ice Age 1 was 2002, and then it was 06, then 09, then 12, then 16. Yeah, so they were cranking them out pretty consistently.
Yeah, it truly is Disney's finest franchise.
Well, it didn't used to be Disney's, but now they're just pretending it's their finest
Actually,
franchise.
wait, what the fuck? No.
Because they bought it from Fox.
No, never mind. There's only fucking 5 Ice Age movies?
Yeah,
that is a
and then the
surprise to me
spin-off
because
film.
I think it should be. Wait, there are 5 of these fucking movies.
Oh yeah.
No, but there was so many. God, fun fact, this is like a movie, I don't know, for some reason in my household, Ice Age was the funniest shit. And I think
Yeah, you told us the story before. Your dad was like all in on Scrat.
Yeah, no, I think it had something to do with a famous Swedish comedian playing the
Oh yeah, it's because so in the US and the English dub, they're all voiced by like alt comedians, like fucking Ray Romano's the mammoth, John Leguizamo's the sloth, and then Dennis Leary or like Dennis Miller is the fucking saber-tooth tiger.
I thought you were about to give me like a weird Berenstein Bears or something, or whatever that effect's called, where it's like, oh, in the UK, I thought there was a UK dub of Ice Age with alt comedians.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh yeah, the mammoth is played by Alexei Sale, and I'd be like, what the fuck?
yeah, the sloth is Rick Mail.
Oh, I'd be mad. Oh,
that would have been good.
That would have been great.
Yeah. They should have done that, but they didn't. Fucking Ape I was talking about Ape Escape earlier in the week, and like that's the only game I can think of that had like a British dub.
Are you thinking of Gex, not Ape Escape?
No, Gex had it. Gex is the funniest one, but no. So Ape Escape had a Japanese dub, it had an American dub, and then when it came over eFigs, they did a new dub in British as well. Yeah, very weird. But no, Gex is the funniest one because in America it's Dana Gould, who's like, hey, I'm an American guy, I talk like this kind of thing, which makes sense for Gex. But then in Britain, they hired like famous like British sex pot Leslie Grantham to do.
And they localized some of the references.
Not a lot though. Like like in the American one, he'd be like, guys, it's like I'm having a party at Eddie Garcia's house, and then like in the British one, it's like, it's like I'm having a party at Andy Garcia's house. And it's like, not quite right.
Yeah.
That's not quite the tone you want for Gex.
Yeah, he was like, no, what the fuck?
It's like they had turned him from Gex the Gecko to Sex the Gecko.
Yeah, Sex Pest the Gecko.
Yeah,
I think that was its French title.
Is that what they call Gex 3D?
So that's going to be my running bit now. Is whenever sex is mentioned, it's like, that was the French title.
Yeah, they called it Sex Gecko. There was a couple of them. Like one was like there was a film. Friends with Benefits in France was just called Sex Friends. Eurotrip was just called Sex Trip.
I think, you know what, for the French market, I guess, you know what, they just need to throw the word sex in there. It's like, that'll get them in the seats.
So I watched fucking, we'll wrap up the podcast in a second, but like, so I've been trying to go through and watching all the stuff that's up for Oscars this year, and I watched Anatomy of a Fall, which is
that just
like a French co-production.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, and like, I can't remember who made this joke before, but it's just something that stuck in my head. And it's like, well, you can tell if you're watching a French film because everyone's smoking and like there's just a scene where they have sex for no reason.
Sounds like a Family Guy bit.
I know, but literally in Anatomy of a Fall, there is a bit where, everyone's smoking throughout the entire fucking film. And then for no reason, there is just a scene with her with her tits out and there's like no explanation for it. And it's like, God, the French just can't turn it off. Like, they just can't stop it.
Sacre bleu, the French.
I'm looking forward to them doing like a Simpsons like couch gag where just Homer's smoking and just I don't know, has a tits out or something.
That'd be good.
No, it's actually Marge smoking and Homer.
Maybe they'll do like
out.
a reference to an Andalusian dog and they'll just call it Sex Weird or something.
No, when it comes over to France, that episode's just called Sex Simpsons.
Sexons.
The Sexons. I guess I'll end with this, which is, so here's the fun thing. So, Swede, you have seen Dark of the Moon, yeah?
Yeah, I have seen them. Yeah.
I have never seen Dark of the Moon, so me and Snake are going to
Oh, you're in for a ride.
Is that the third one? Is that the third?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the end of the Sam Witwillie
the Sam Witwillie trilogy.
This is the end of the Jet Set Willie trilogy. And I forgot to say at the end of this film,
meets the Taxman.
We're sad to say this is the last film that has Michaela Baines in it. We're not going to see Megan Fox in the next film.
All the old guard just.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think we talked about it. Like either it's
a story that I can't repeat on this podcast because it's slightly anti-Semitic, but it was Spielberg was involved in it because it was about something that she said during a interview, which he didn't particularly appreciate. But then they did start working together again on those fucking, well, not really working together because he only produced them, but she's April O'Neil in those
was Spielberg
terrifying TMNT films.
Was he? Was Spielberg producing it? I thought that was just
Spielberg had no involvement in the TMNTs. No, I meant Bay was producing, but he didn't direct them. That's the thing. But he did direct the film that we're talking about next, which is Transformers: Dark of the Moon. So, Snake, have you got any expectations for this one?
Well, you've told me this is the worst, and it gets better after this. But
but then I don't know. Sweet's the only person who's seen it,
Dark of the Moon. So, and with a joke earlier, and I totally forgot the next films because I don't remember the subtitles of these. So, I am hoping the moon is going to be a massive transformer. Like, just the whole fucking moon. I don't want a moon base. I don't want, the probe that was left on the moon in the mission in 69 is a transformer. No. I want a whole celestial body transformer, because that's been done before. I hope Sam dies and this time it sticks.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to improve as a character, but I will be happy to witness him fail son his way through it. I somehow suspect no dog fucking and no humongous.
Yeah, that's my worry, Sweet, is that I don't think humongous is back in the next one.
You don't think
I
so?
I feel like the next film is going to be more entertaining, but somehow I'm going to bet it's going to be more dire or more dour rather than this movie.
I feel like they're going to learn the wrong lessons from these two films in the... Because I feel like I remember at the time in 2009, people were like, the Transformers film, you don't see the Transformers enough. It's all about Sam and he sucks. So I feel like they'll take the wrong lessons of, well, we can't get rid of Sam because he's the guy we put on the poster, but we are going to get rid of every other side character. Except for maybe Totoro. I could see them maybe doubling down on the military stuff. But other than that, I think it's mostly just going to be him and the Transformers. And I also feel like it's going to have a bit of a GK77 thing is as these films go along, these characters have less and less interaction with one another. So Sam's just going to have absolutely nothing to do with the Transformers up until maybe the last hour of the film. Oh, that's something I can definitely predict, which is that film is going to be half an hour too long. Because that's every other film that we have watched.
That is the free square on your bingo card.
Yeah, that's the free square on any Michael Bay film is this film is half an hour too fucking long.
Do you think every Michael Bay movie could be improved if someone just edited them slightly?
The only film I would say wouldn't appreciate from that would maybe be Ambulance, but I would have to rewatch it. But I remember the end being
I think there is a bit of faffing in Ambulance from what I remember there. It's all good action scenes, but there is maybe a few chases that you could whittle away without killing the pace.
I mean that film is entirely faff, though,
yeah.
But that's the kind of appeal of it.
I would change the entire ending moral of Ambulance. Actually, I wouldn't. No, because it's such a
wasn't the ending moral of Ambulance just, I shouldn't be a bank robber even though my wife's dying?
It's like a weird happy ending where he chose he's going to go to jail for life, but he did good as he did so.
I guess, yeah.
It's been a while, but I just remember the morals at that ending being this is a really miserable ending. Why is all of this being framed like this is good?
Yeah. No. Yeah, there was no happy ending to that, apart from, I guess, the cop didn't die in the back of the ambulance, so... And he did ask the girl out on a date, finally, so... Oh, does fucking Thingy die in that film as well? Jake Gyllenhaal, the white guy who was the head bank robber.
Well, that would be spoilers, but a key character does die, which makes you go, "Huh, that was kind of sad. That was kind of extra."
Oh yeah, somebody. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe we'll get to that.
I'm trying
whenever
to
we
dodge
eventually-
spoilers for a movie that we're
Yeah,
not.
whenever we
explicitly
eventually talk
talking
about Ambulance on the podcast, films we like, because I feel like that is a film we like. We were
Yeah,
like,
no.
we can go into that, I guess. I guess we'll close out the show by Swedes. Is there anything you would like to promote in this time about? Actually, no, Snake, you go first because you're technically the guest of this episode.
Yeah, the permanent guest.
Yeah, for the guest.
I'm just Snakera on YouTube. I make very long videos about games. Hopefully soon I should have a video on Brigade E5 out. Hopefully, because that has been a 2-year project recording that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when you started that.
Do I have any games I want to plug? Because all I've been playing is Infinite Wealth lately, and I don't think I need to spread that around.
No, I don't think so.
I was gonna say you don't want to boost this little known
Yeah, this little known series. I don't know. Look out for Rollin' Rascal or whatever it's called. That looks.
Yeah,
played the
I'm
demo
sorry.
for that. That's neat. It's a Sonic-alike.
Oh yeah, I haven't played the demo yet, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do that on the weekend. Swede, what about you?
I mean, really, all I have to chill is my Twitter, which is not at Swede. It is at Playway, which is Playway, but you replace the A with an E in play. So PLEYWAY.
Are you moving over to Blue Sky at any point now that it's open?
I already got into Blue Sky. Did
Oh
I?
yeah, that's right, because I gave you an invite code.
Yeah,
Didn't I?
and it's the exact same thing there.
There we go.
It's
I'm
you'll find me. It's the Skeletor avatar.
yeah, of course.
Um,
James, you can follow me at Twitter at Hotsider HTC with DER. Also on YouTube at Hotsider HTC with DER. Please join us next time, where I guess we're gonna end the trilogy by talking about. Is it 2011 or 2012? The film came?
2011.
2011. God, so it literally missed the year of the Avengers and the end of the Batman trilogy. Fucking
Oh, God.
Dark Knight Rises
Yeah,
coming
you're
out.
right. It's a movie made post Avengers. Well, not really.
No, pre-Avengers, because Avengers was 2012.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, that's actually true.
I mean, it's a film that was made post Inception, which is a pretty good film.
yeah.
But, no, we're going to see the end of... Yeah, like, this will be the interesting fulcrum point, because I feel like after the Avengers, that just kind of
Yeah.
fucked films for a very long
Yeah,
time. I mean,
like-
we're still kind of feeling the effects of it.
Like as much as I say that the Transformers movies definitely affected like a lot of blockbusters. Like, they make huge, like, there were so many movies trying to be Transformers. Yeah, no, Transformers Dark Moon is kind of like the last in like before Marvel really took over.
I mean, something that we didn't mention was that in between these two films, between 1 and 2, Iron Man came out.
Oh yeah,
Which is like...
So yeah,
That was
this
when-
is now an MCU world, but we just didn't know it yet.
And I feel like the biggest effect the Transformers had on stuff like that was like that sort of like pseudo-realistic look that
Yeah.
these films kind of have, which
Some-
the Avengers is then like the full embrace of. These guys are real. They live in our real world.
But
They can be
also-
just like you and me.
also sound design. A lot of sound design.
Oh yeah, true that.
And I think a lot of directors also try to do what they did until they just said fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't quite get there in regards, because I think that second Captain America film is the point where people go, oh, you don't really need directors for these films, because they got the fucking two guys who are better known for television, and that's not me putting down like television directors, but they didn't have like a particular vision for the look of their films, and I think Marvel quite liked that because they thought, oh, that's realistic, and it's like, no, not particularly. It's just kind of stylist, but yeah, that's just kind of become the look of films now. They're just very flat and very kind of dull looking because I guess that's more realistic. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a weird kind of tragedy as there is, the push for realism, even though realism is not helpful or conducive to storytelling in most cases. And lighting is the worst loss of that, because you can use lighting to just kind of direct shots so well.
Yeah.
There's a funny quote that's been doing the rounds recently, which was from the Fellowship of the Ring, like director's commentary, and it's one of the scenes of like where the ring wraiths are like roaming about and the little hobbits are like hidden underneath a tree, and it's like it's a pitch black scene, but there's just like these big shafts of light making it look more dramatic. And one of I think Sean Astin or whatever just says, Oh, where he just makes like a kind of a smarmy, nerdy joke of, oh, where are the lights coming from? And the DP says, same place where the music's coming from.
Fucking yeah, just shut the fuck up. Get fucking
Yeah,
wrecked.
you fucking nerd, shut the fuck up.
Ugh.
There was a good thing recently about the power of music in storytelling, which has been doing the rounds, and it's very obvious. But it's either the new or it's like Mission Impossible. The ending
yes.
sequence of that is like a 20-minute long kind of action sequence, and audiences kept complaining like, "Oh, we thought the movie was ending when it wasn't." And they didn't change anything in editing, but Tom Cruise went to the composer and said, "Hey, compose a 20-minute long music piece for this." And because the music flowed completely without any stops, all those complaints dried up because the music kind of carried the continuity of the scene from piece to piece. And it kind of goes to show how like tricky it can be and how nebulous it can be sometimes with our complaints, because they can be informed by factors we don't even consciously pick up on.
I mean, what's the famous story of somebody designed a shotgun for a FPS? I think this might have been Battlefield Bad Company.
Oh no, I do know another. Yeah,
you did the research of this, but I can't remember what game.
There was I believe it was Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
That was it.
Return
and
to
they got
Castle
the feedback,
Wolfenstein,
which was
the SMGs were statistically exactly the same, but I believe the American SMG, the Thompson, had a more powerful sounding report. Like the weapon sound is more powerful, and people legitimately got more kills with the Thompson over the MP40 because it was a more impressive sound. So people thought it was more powerful. They had the exact same stats, but aesthetics do play a very, very big part in, like,
absolutely. I mean, it's funny because that's not the story I've heard. I think is a slightly more famous one, but it was like, I think it might have been Bad Company, where they made a shotgun and in play testing, people went, "Oh, this sounds shit." This shotgun is shit. And the sound guy went back and he just made it sound bassier and louder, and people went, "Oh, the shotgun's amazing." It's like,
weapon sound, I'm quite conscious of it. Like, I would pick a weaker weapon that sounds better over thing. But I don't play optimally. I play to just kind of be thrilled. I know how fickle I can be. I know how shallow my appreciation can run.
Much like my shallow appreciation for these films so far, except for this one.
Did this dig the hole a little, make it a bit less shallow, but that turn of phrase broke apart in real time. That didn't work.
Like the big hole that they dug around the nail house that we were talking about 3 hours ago.
It all comes back to Nail House.